Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Remember, those tickets, they close at 11:59 tonight, so make sure you jump on them. You seen it on the screen just now. Make sure you jump on them. I'll talk about it a few times throughout the broadcast, but you got about an hour and a half before those tickets are closed off, so make sure you get them now. Remember, Section 216, it's $145 per ticket. You'll get a ticket to the game. You get to participate with Nothing But Knicks before the game, before we even get to Madison Square Garden. You get to, after the game, you get to go down and shoot free throws on the court. We'll go to Clyde's after the game. You can have a great time, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you get those tickets. You can click the info button that's right above the little eye in the corner. You can click that info button and you'll be able to purchase tickets. So make sure you get them now. There's only a few left too, because we only had a certain number reserved. There's only a few left. I hope you guys have had a good week so far. And to everybody that's in the Bahamas, my prayers goes out to you. Hopefully, I know it's rough over there right now. There's no way to get into the island. There's no way to get out of the island, get off the island, and because the airport is destroyed. So my prayers go out to you, and hopefully, even here in the U.S., hopefully we can get some help to those people in the Bahamas soon. And of course, folks in Miami, along the East Coast, the southern East Coast, I pray that everything is going to be safe for you and your family. All right. And I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat is doing the same. And those who are not in the chat, just listening or whatever it is, I'm sure everybody's doing the same. We're getting closer, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting closer and closer and closer to that time. It's September the 4th. In about 3 weeks, the Knicks are going to kick off training camp. That should be exciting. Finally get the guys together, get them doing some things together. They've been working and doing some things together. They've been doing it for weeks. But training camp is when it's really official. And I can smell it. I can feel it pulsing through my veins. It's around the corner, folks. It's around the corner. It surely is. Frank Ntilikina is doing his thing with France, so I feel good about that. Hopefully you do. I know there's going to be some haters in the chat. That's all good. It's cool. You can hate. But Frank Ntilikina, listen, he had a good game. He had a pretty decent game last game. 12 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, something like that. That's pretty good. Let's see what he can continue to do. You know what I mean? And I can't wait until, when it's finally over, I'm going to do something that just kind of wraps up Frank Ntilikina's performance. Then we'll talk about how it relates to the Knicks. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do some player predictions. Just some off-the-wall predictions of what players are going to do this season. And there's not going to be anything that's based on stats and all that kind of stuff. Right now, we're just talking. All of the real statistical stuff, the intense breakdowns, we're going to save that for the season preview series. Because when we do those season preview series, we're really going to get into the weeds on it. Like, we're going to get deep into the weeds. We're going to talk about stats and all kinds of stats. We'll do some breakdowns on the court and show how players do this and do that. So it should be really good when we do this season preview series. There's going to be about 5 episodes to the season preview series. About 5 episodes where we're really going to break down the Knicks in depth. We're going to go in depth. Each show will be about between an hour and an hour and a half long. So look forward to that. It begins September the 16th. Remember, September 16th, that's when the season preview series begins. You'll get notifications because I'm about to put those notifications out as to what you will, to what's coming up next. I got Guillermo in the chat. Me and Guillermo been chatting all day long. So Guillermo, I'm sorry. I said Guillermo again. Guillermo, I'm not interested in continuing that conversation.
You brought it up.
You texted me first.
You just brought it up. You don't have to say nothing to the chat, man.
I'm just saying, but you already had a devilish smile on your face, like you were getting ready to bring something up. You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna let me tell the story, the little tidbit?
You were getting ready to bring it up. I could tell. And we're still getting that little bumping sound in the mic. I don't know, like when you speak a little bit louder, it seems to happen. Maybe you got the volume up loud or something. I don't know.
Is it still doing it now?
I mean, it's good, but when you speak a little bit louder, just every once in a while, for whatever reason, that happens.
All right, I might change to my work laptop, so I'll probably do it when you go to calls or whatever.
Okay, yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I got a super chat, so let me read the super chat off real quick, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get to the video chat. City for real, it's my man. He's in the video chat with us. He said training camp is gonna be a dog fight. The guys are looking real hungry. I hope Fizz is ready. I think the young kids are ready to ball. Let's go, New York Knicks, without a doubt. And I know everybody here. I know everybody that's in the chat right now is ready. Is ready to go. Before I get to that video chat, though, I do want to remind you that we have a contest going on. All right, RJ Barrett rookie card contest, and it's very, very easy for you to win or enter the contest. Let me say that it's very easy for you to enter the contest. I'm gonna go over the contest rules with you. It's for an RJ Barrett rookie card, and I have the rookie cards here. Okay, already had they came in the mail yesterday. Actually, the contest rules for the RJ Barrett rookie card contest. Number one, the first things first and foremost, it ends September the 23rd at 11:59 p.m. So make sure you get it in. And here's all you have to do. There's 3 rules to the contest. Number one, help someone or do something positive to help your community. That's the first rule to the contest. And it's based on the honor system. I am trusting that you are going to be honest about what you've done, about your deeds. Then use the form below to explain how you helped someone in your community. So right down here, you see there's a form down here where you can put your name, last name, email, and then you can explain how you helped somebody in your community. And then number 3, write or respond to a post in the NBK forums. All right. And if you didn't know, now you know. On my website, there are forums, and I'd like to get people talking in those forums. All right. All you got to do is go to the members area, fan forum. You see right there, and bam, there's a forum where you can talk, chop it up. All right. And then for bonus points, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you can subscribe just by clicking this button. And then you can share this page out on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. All right. So there you go. That's it. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do to enter to win RJ Barrett rookie card.
So I was just typing.
So
or texting.
I am going to first mute Guillermo. Now I am going to put in the chat a link so that you can enter to win RJ Barrett rookie card. And all it is NothinButKnicks.com. RJ contest. All right. There you go. Now, let's go ahead and let's get to our guys that's here in the video chat. See what they got going on. Guillermo, what's going on, man?
Yo. It's good, Sim. How you doing, man?
I'm feeling good.
That's good, man. That's
good.
good.
I feel good.
Just asking. Just, see, I saw Frank's highlights,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I seen Frank's highlights, and he's looking confident out there. He's looking confident.
I'll say this: the plays, he had a nice defensive play. He dove for the ball. There's another play where he drove to the basket on his left. Didn't really have the lane, pass to the semi-open guy in the corner left on a three. Hit the shot. Hit a three from the top of the key. He got fouled as well. But I would say this, as much as people got on me about the Summer League game, the Summer League stuff, let's be honest. Jordan's not a great team or a really good team, and so they'd probably be comparable to some of the Summer League teams. So as much praise we're giving Frank Ntilikina, let's also put a grain of salt and say that, this probably would have been the level of competition, possibly harder. This would be possibly easier that he would have shown in Summer League. So, look, I hope Frank. I hope this is a confidence booster, because let's be honest, the level of play with some of these teams is just not up to par compared to NBA. So let's just hope that one, he develops a memory. All the best players throughout all sports, they develop the ability to forget. Like you saw when Frank would miss shots here and there. He would have that lingering on his mind, and he would hesitate. And it'd be a comical thing where, like, the other team would allow him literally to shoot an open corner three for like 10 seconds. And he's sitting there kind of like, hesitating because he doesn't want to shoot. And he dribbles and passes out despite being open. So all this stuff, let this be a confidence booster, because, his shot is still the same, still using the kind of two-arm thing. He's not really one arm in it, or at least wrist in it. But, hey, look, it is what it is. Can't really go back to the past now. So hopefully he does well, and I'm gonna wait until you allow me to tell until we go into this little mellow tizzy. But I'll let you get to City for real.
Well, you already trying to. What are you talking?
No, Sim. You started the show
right now.
You started the show coming at me. I didn't even say anything. I was just waiting for you
because I knew you was gonna get. You was trying to take a jab. I already knew you was trying to take a jab. I don't even know what Melo has to do with this topic right now.
This isn't entrapment. This is illegal. You can't do this. You can't create the context and provoke me and then persecute me when I react. Like, come on, Sim.
I don't know what Melo has to do with this topic right now. That's all that I'm saying. I have no clue what Melo has to do with this topic.
I think Sim marginalized everything I was gonna say at the beginning. Sim is not slick.
See that?
He marginalized everything. Hold on.
You see right there. You see what you just said, right? I marginalized everything that you was gonna say at the beginning. So, boom, you already had it in your mind.
No. Okay, let me not say marginalized.
Hello.
You try to, You see, thank you, City. You see how he is. Let me let Sim get to everybody else. Now I'll talk about the mellow stuff later. Let Sim get to City, man. Sim is funny, man.
But let me say this about Frank. With what you're saying, you're right. Jordan is probably not the players. The talent level is probably not the same as what he would have played against in the Summer League, right? Mm-hmm. But I will say this, or maybe it's about the same, maybe a little bit less. But I will say this, even still, the level of preparation is just different. And I think there's a lot of learning to be said for the level of preparation that you're gonna have in the World Cup. It's gonna be different. I mean, let's be honest, when you're talking about Summer League, you're not really preparing for the other team. You're just, trying to put something together. The coaches are just trying to put something together so that they can look formidable on the floor. You know what I mean?
That's true. I give it to Frank. Like you said, there's different things you have to learn. One thing I hope Frank does learn, and it's not just by himself, but maybe also how to maintain his body, because this kid is still growing, which is absurd. And he's only, 20? So, yeah. Eating habits, things like that, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's bad. I really don't know what it is, but maybe you could pick up on things from other guys. French people don't really, they have their diets of fairly minimal and stuff like that. Like people overseas, period. So I mean, he might be good on that up front, and then get into basketball stuff. That look, like you said, look, in every NBA game, you're gonna have shots you have to make, whether it's from the elbow, from the three, from the corner, from the wing. There's times you have to drive to the basket. What I saw from Frank, look, I mean, he's being aggressive in driving to the basket. He had one where he got fouled. You know, I mean, he's pushing the envelope, right? Versus what is usually the off-ball kind of system, right, where guys are moving and you make the smart pass. You might dribble a little bit. Like if you watch the overseas games, like out of side of the FIBA games, like you watch like FC Barcelona or any of those basketball teams, not FC, excuse me, that's the football club, sorry, but the Barcelona basketball team. When you see how they play, the guard isn't really that dynamic, but they're smart and they're making heavy plays and everybody else is moving around them. Frank has to bridge the gap to where because this is what Fizdale likes, that's why he loves De'Aaron Fox. He wants guys who push the envelope and then things happen around him, right? So when I say push the envelope, they beat the guy to a dribble, so now the big man has to come and commit to and now they have a pass to the big man. They might have a pass to the guy in the corner if that guy's defender comes and tries to help defend against Frank. So if Frank can develop that aggressiveness, look, he's never going to be Westbrook, but if he can push the envelope so things happen around him, plus Fizdale also bridges the gap and get guys like Knox and Iggy, guys that move around in motion, Julius Randle, Portis, big man Mitch. If they could bridge the gap, Frank can be a really good player. And look, those aren't starter numbers, the 12, 5, and 5 or whatever he had. But again, like I said, if he could play the Marcus Smart role, come in, because look, you're going to have Trier coming off the bench, right? You're going to have probably scorers coming off the bench. You need a facilitator, right? And Frank can be that facilitator, the defender, the guy to kind of hold the fort, but kind of continue to push the envelope in a different way, get guys involved, get the scorers involved. So Trier's not holding the ball for 20 seconds, blah, blah, blah. Frank can have the eye to say, all right, Trier's not open now, or Trier's not hot. Let me move away from him. Let me go to Portis, who's open in a three. Let me go to Bullock. Let me go to other guys. So look, Frank come off the bench, you're going to need it. Marcus Smart is a great example of who you should follow in terms of being that energizer, points, toughness. Mark Smart's not really an assist guy, I guess, but Frank can offer that as a difference maker or difference between him and Smart. So if he looks forward to that, I mean, look, he could carve out a great niche on his team.
Yeah. I like what you said about Frank bridging the gap and also Fizz having to bridge the gap too. The problem there is I'm not sure either one of them are going to be able to do it. That's honestly, I'm not sure if either one of them are going to be able to do it. I don't know if
you want to win.
Is
Sim, you want to win? That's all it's all about. If you want to win, man, you take the best players that you got. You take what's best out of all your players and you make it work.
I agree. I'm not sure though if Frank is. We'll see. I mean, he's 21, so he has time. But is he going to be able to learn how to fuse? First, he's got to learn how to play the U.S. style. He's got to learn how to play that more aggressive attacking style. He's got to learn how to do it. Then he's got to blend it. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't know how to do it, then there's nothing to blend. And then Fizdale has to understand that the game is not one. I don't think you can win with just attacking guards all the time. I don't think you can win with just that style of play, because once you pick up those habits of just being an attacking style of guard, attack. When you get into the playoffs, it doesn't work that way. You've really got to be able to play a half-court style of game, learn how to put people. You got to play chess now. You get in the playoffs, now you have to play chess. You know what I mean? Yep. So you need somebody, which is the reason why Elfrid Payton is a really, really good pickup.
I agree.
Because he is a guy that can play that chess type of game. Let me get around to these other guys, man. All right.
Oh, Lord. City.
There you go. What's up, City?
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We're gonna do some player predictions today, man. And we're not really gonna break it down in depth. Maybe
I got some of those
stats here and there, but we're gonna just do some predictions on what we think these guys are gonna do this season in the NBA. Now, later on, when we get later and we do the season preview series, we do that whole series, we're really going to break down these players in depth. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a deep dive into what these players are, what they can do. You know what I mean? We may not go all the way down, way deep into the role players. We'll do the top 6 or 7 players, 8 players or something like that.
Right.
But we're gonna take a deep dive into what these guys can really do and where we think they can end up this season. But today we're just gonna do some general player predictions on what we think is gonna happen with players throughout the season. You know, what their stats might be like. We're gonna do each player. We have 17 players to go through. We're gonna do each player. So we're not gonna can't spend 10 minutes on every single player. You know what I mean? But how you been, man?
Right.
Just give us a quick intro. How you feeling?
Oh, yo, I'm good, man. I want to just add on to something with the whole Frank thing, right? Frank, his ceiling is pretty high, right? Let's just all say that. But at the same time, his production, what he's producing, what he's putting out on the floor, if that's all of what he's going to be, then we got to accept him for what he is. Because listen, man, a lot of the times you don't got to score 30 points, 20 points to help a championship team out. Not saying that we go into the championship, but what I mean is that sometimes you got certain players that bring certain things to the floor, and they might only average 10, 12 points, but those 10, 12 points might produce, and the defense of which they play or whatever might be the key factor into them winning games. But I'm not saying that that's what he is or that's what he's gonna be. But what I'm saying is, if that's what he is, then guess what? We gotta accept it and roll with it and appreciate it and accept the man for what he is. Like, we can't push people for more than what they are. Although they have the potential, sometimes you never reach your potential. Sometimes you only get to a certain point and you never get above it. Although you have the ability to do it, it's just one of those things that happens.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you there. Let me get over here. Nate. Hold up, Nate. Let me get you unmuted. Go ahead. Looks like you're on your way home from work or the grocery store. One of the two, man. What's up?
Nah, man. I had dinner with
what?
I had dinner with a friend.
Okay. All right. All right, cool. You're a little bit low.
Huh? Can you hear me?
I said your volume is a little low, man. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, can you hear me now, Sim?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you a little bit.
So this whole debate with Frank, I understand it, but I kind of don't, because people act like Frank is completely foreign to basketball when at the end of the day he can play. The problem is, if Frank can have a more consistent jump shot, we're not even talking about him. Let's just be real. You know, I mean, the playmaking's there, the defense is there, but if the guy shot a better percentage and shot with more confidence, like he did against Jordan, we wouldn't be having this debate. We wouldn't be having this problem. And I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with this until it doesn't happen. He's gonna be the best player, the best improved player this year. I just see it in his game. I mean, yeah, I get it was against Jordan, but he seems confident with his shot. The three looked good. He had a good form. You know, he was dishing the ball. I mean, I think FIBA's the best thing for him right now. You know, because he's actually playing against competition right now. He's getting reps. You know, it's kind of like football. He's getting a lot of reps right now. So when he comes into training camp, then you know, we'll see if those reps paid off and he looks a lot more improved. But I really think he's going to be. I really do. I think he had to go home, play with his home team to get the confidence. You know, and I think the sky's the limit for this guy. I really do. I mean, I think that his game is going to come around.
All right. I mean, I don't think Wormo was. I think he was just basically saying, you know, is it going to be able to relate? Is it going to transfer to the NBA? You know what I'm saying? Let me get to Mo. Mo is new to the chat. All right. And then let me see who's knocking to get in first. We got Rob the Nick. And then now, Mo, what's going on, man?
Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta mute out this guy. Yeah, just honestly, when it comes to Frank, we just have to like continue to be patient, because the thing is, like, a guy like this, he came in when he was, 18 years old, completely just, like, deer in the headlights. And, New York is just the completely wrong place for him to be. Like, it's never going to be the right situation. If he becomes, like, a successful NBA player, it's gonna be somewhere else. That's honestly what I'm seeing.
So what would have been the right place for him to come into? Like, you say New York was never the right place. What would have been the right place?
I don't know. Somewhere like maybe Orlando, Phoenix, like a place where the market isn't something as crazy as what we are. I just think that it's important for a player like that to like just have some time to breathe and not be scrutinized by the media all the time. So yeah, I love Frank. I really do. We never really had like a point guard that like could defend everybody in the league, but we're not going to give him a chance to grow offensively. So that's my thing, and I don't even think he's going to get much playing time this year with Elfrid Payton there. So it sucks, but we gotta get ready to say bye to him, man.
Okay, all right. Well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get around to everybody, but we're gonna start off looking at we're gonna start the player predictions now. All right, and what I'm gonna do is everyone that's in the video chat, I'm gonna give you about. I'm gonna bring up a player and I'm gonna give you like 30 seconds to just give you a prediction and why, and then we'll move on. All right, because I don't want this to be a 20-hour show. So 30 seconds, give you a prediction of that player and why. If somebody has an opposing opinion, maybe I'll unmute both of you so you can have a small debate, and then we'll move on from there. We're gonna do this like they do on those presidential debates, when they be cutting them off. But see, they don't have a mute button. I have a mute button. So if you just keep going, I'm just gonna mute you. You know what I'm saying? Just gonna mute you out of there. And Viv's joining us. So yeah, we should have some good conversations tonight. I'm gonna get to this phone call, and then after I get to the phone call, I'm gonna go ahead and start breaking down. We're gonna start looking at players. I do want to say this, though. Today is Wallpaper Wednesday, and every Wednesday, the Knicks they give out free wallpapers. So go to the Knicks Twitter. It's just at New York Knicks, and get yourself some dope wallpaper. If you look at the cover of this video, the thumbnail for this video, those are all from the Knicks wallpaper that they created and put out. So they got some dope mobile phone wallpapers. Go ahead and put it out. Put it on your phone, man. All right, so let's get to this. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How you feeling, bro?
I'm gonna purchase a ticket. I'm all right, brother. I'm trying to purchase a ticket for the game.
Say that again?
I'm trying to purchase a ticket for the opening night.
Yeah, man. All you got to do is go to the website, NothinButKnicks.com. Go to the website there, and you go to events, and you'll be able to click on it right there. It says opening night.
Okay, I just tried. I hope I can get it. But, yeah, what's up, brother? How you doing? Love the show, man.
I appreciate you, my man. How you feeling?
And I got a song for you, man. How I get it to you, man? I want to answer your pleas for that to get rid of that elevator music, man.
You mean on the phone
serious.
Call?
Huh?
You mean on the phone call?
I got an anthem for you, brother. How can I get it to you, man?
All you gotta do is my email is srussell@nothingbutknicks.com.
Got you. I'm gonna send it to you, brother.
All
I'm
right.
hoping I can get that ticket, man. My name is John Coleman, man. Please save me a ticket. I got my card in my hand. I'm gonna go through it. I've been doing it all day, going to events. I was just on it. Didn't do nothing. Just pulled it up.
I don't know, man. It's on there. Like people been on there purchasing them, so I'm not exactly sure what's happening. They've been on there making the purchases.
Try it, though.
All right, bro. Hopefully you can get it done. I'm be looking forward to seeing you there, man.
But listen, brother, we don't need to trade for Bradley Beal, brother. We got our own killers. Knox. We got our man, RJ. We got everything that they tell them we didn't get a free agent. We got him. We building from the ground up. Like Golden State, man, we gonna get the chip, brother. Love all y'all diehard Knicks fans, man. We back.
All right.
All right, brother.
All right,
Thanks,
bro.
man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Hope I can get there to see the garden.
Yeah, keep sending me messages too if you don't get it. We'll get it worked out.
All right, appreciate
All
you, man. Let's go, New York. That's the name of the theme song. I'm gonna get it to you. As Russell, you said at
NothinButKnicks.com.
Got you, man. Thanks, man.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Let's get to this, ladies and gentlemen. We are, and we're working right off the New York Knicks website right now. Okay? We're working right off the New York Knicks website. We're just going to look at the roster, and we're going to go down the roster and talk about the players that's on the roster. All right? So, the first player you see on the roster is Kadeem Allen. And I'll start with my prediction. My prediction is that Kadeem Allen will, right now, Kadeem Allen is on the team as a two-way player, right? He's one of those two-way players on the squad. I am predicting that Kadeem Allen is going to lose his spot as a two-way player. We have 3 point guards. I know Kadeem Allen did well, but my prediction is that Kadeem Allen is eventually, somewhere down the line, the Knicks are going to let Kadeem Allen go as a two-way player. And, he'll move on to another squad. And then, they'll use that spot for a two-way player to sign somebody else. That's just what I think. I could be wrong. That's what I think. So, he's on there now. I'm not sure. I do know that Fizdale likes Kadeem Allen. I'm just not sure that he's going to be here for that long. You know what I mean? And the Knicks will have the ability to, take away that two-way player contract and replace it with somebody else. So that's what I think is going to happen with Kadeem Allen. All right. I don't see a future for him with the Knicks. At one time I did. Now I don't, because we have so many guards. Now, you picked up Elfrid Payton. You still got Frank Ntilikina. You got Dennis Smith Jr. You got other guards that can be, that can step in if needed. RJ Barrett can maybe play some point guard. I'm just not seeing where Kadeem Allen, what the need is for Kadeem Allen now or in the future. So, I don't see there being too much of a future for Kadeem Allen with the Knicks. So my prediction is that he will be gone from the Knicks as a two-way player. I'm going to get to Viv. What do you think, man?
I actually agree. I don't know the timing of when he'll be gone, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's any time between, I don't know, the end of preseason, somewhere, as early as that. Or maybe sometime midway during the season where they just let him go somewhere. Maybe he gets the spot somewhere, and then maybe he can figure something out. But look, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut during preseason, and then maybe he has an offer to play in Europe or somewhere where he'll get more money and more playing time.
Yeah,
because they've already kind of set his future, right? You can't really develop him much more. He's already 26, gonna be 27. Next season, this upcoming season. So, he kind of is what he is, right? So
Right. And that's what I'm seeing with it. He is what he is. He might be able to find a spot somewhere in the league, but
he'll get paid somewhere. It just won't be in New York.
Yeah.
I think they'll give the spot to probably a guy like Kenny Wooten or somebody.
Kenny Wooten. See, that's what I'm thinking. I think, and that makes sense, because we have forwards here that are on a, basically a 1-year contract. Even though Elfrid Payton's on a 1-year contract, you still got Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., and then you got RJ Barrett that could, be a point forward or whatever. You got Alonzo Trier, even though he's a shooting guard, he can still, he can go back and forth if you really need him to. I just don't see where he fits. But Kenny Wooten, you got we got forwards, but most of those forwards are not going to be the future of the team. You know what I'm saying? When you look at our guards, we have young guards that could possibly be the future of the team. Most of the forwards we have, besides Julius Randle, Kevin Knox, you got Iggy, but it's these other guys are veterans. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see them. I can see what it could be.
The two guys are younger guys, right? So they're at least something worth investing in. Kenny Wooten's 20. Yeah. The other kid, Chris Wilkes, who hasn't played, he's like 20, 21. Right. I mean, better seeing what they have, and then do a favor for Allen. Maybe he'll get a deal somewhere.
Yeah. I'd like to see him do a favor for I'd like to see the Knicks do that. Any team do that. Take care of your players and everything, if you can. So we'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Let me see. We'll see what these other guys think. Rob the Knick, coming to you, man. What's going on, man?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, brother.
Okay, cool. So, what's the question about
Kadeem Allen?
What's his name?
Kadeem Allen.
Oh, yeah, he's a goner. I'm surprised, to tell you the truth, that he's still around anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a bunch of guards, and he really doesn't fit. But hopefully he can latch on to anybody. I don't think is not his talent that I'm saying that. I'm just saying that more too. They overloaded at that position, with the same type of player that I think they'll give a chance to before him. So, maybe he'll land in Sacramento somewhere, But yeah.
Sacramento somewhere.
Yeah, maybe, backing up Fox or somebody.
Okay. I think he'll find a home in the league.
The third backup, he probably going to be the third. He'd be the third on some team, and maybe back and forth to the D League before he go overseas or something.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let me get over here. Let me see what some of these other guys think, man. Let's see what Guillermo.
Did I say to correct yourself, Sim?
No, I'm just trying to make sure that I say your name correctly. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't. People's name is their name. I don't. But Kadeem Allen.
Yeah, he's probably going, Sim, because you got so many guys in his team. And then bringing on Elfrid Payton, I think, was a nail in the coffin. And I think they were trying to showcase him a little bit in the summer league, even though it's just summer league. So I think he's probably a goner. It is what it is. Kadeem Allen, like you said, he probably would have carved out a niche on his team. I think if we had a bona fide, how you pronounce it, a point guard, I think the Elfrid Payton thing wouldn't have happened, and then you would have had Kadeem Allen as a backup. But because it's a year where I think Fizdale's kind of like he doesn't want to experiment too much in terms of putting his faith in, DSJ and possibly Elfrid Payton and having Kadeem, it's just too many guys that are in the flux. So I think he's gone. But yeah, Vivek made a good point. He'd probably go overseas, make some good money, or he'll probably go to another NBA team, be a good bench player, a Pistons type of team or something like that. Some team that's on a fringe of the playoffs and come off the bench, and carry a second unit.
Yeah. So. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get to one more person about Kadeem Allen, and then we'll move on and get to RJ Barrett. Nate, go ahead, man.
Yeah. Kadeem Allen, man. Unfortunately, there's just way too many guards on this team, and truthfully, the way he played in the summer league was his chance to really shine, and he didn't do that. He played average or below average, in my opinion. And he's actually the reason why we still have Frank, because I think if Kadeem Allen would have really played well in the summer league, Frank would have been traded. So I think that the regime decided to keep Frank because they know that he's only 21 and he's got a higher ceiling than probably Kadeem Allen does.
Now, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you, man. He had his chance to really prove that he could be worth keeping around in the summer league, and he didn't. He
had a talented roster too. So he was expected to play well.
Yep. D Public Enemy. Nah, man. I just want to get Guillermo's name correct. I'm glad that he corrected me. Cause check it. My name has been butchered a million different ways. I don't even want to say some of the ways that my name has been butchered. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to say, but it's been butchered a million different ways. You know, so I don't want to butcher anybody's name. But, you know, I formed the habit of saying Guillermo, and it's Guillermo, so I'm trying to correct myself. Next person up the bat, RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. What is your predictions for RJ Barrett? It is a tough one. And like I said, we're not going through and looking at stats and all this kind of stuff. We're just straight up doing predictions. It's a tough one when we talk about RJ Barrett. Because there's so many players that on this team that play that wing position. I know the Knicks, they said they want wings. Well, they have wings. They have a lot of wings. You got RJ Barrett, Iggy, Reggie Bullock, who you see on the screen, Damyean Dotson, Wayne Ellington, Alonzo Trier. You know, Kevin Knox is a wing. You have a lot of wings on this team. RJ Barrett, we hope, is the best of those wings. You know, because we're counting on RJ Barrett to be, we're hoping that RJ Barrett is going to end up being a star for us. My predictions for RJ Barrett this year, as far as stats, I think that he's going to shoot a relatively low percentage. I'm not as low as Frank Ntilikina. You know, he's not going to shoot 33% from the field or 32% from the field. I think he's going to be around 41 or 42% from the field. I actually think he's going to shoot better from three than most people might give him credit for right now. I think he might shoot a little bit better. Why? Because I'm hoping and I think that the floor is going to open up for him a little bit more than maybe it did in college. You know, and he may not have to shoot forced threes. And not that he shot forced threes in college, but, you know, the floor doesn't open up as much. You know, defenses are played different. Games are played differently. I think things are going to open up a little bit more. There's going to be more, you know, if Dennis Smith Jr. can crack the defense, maybe he can find RJ Barrett open a little bit more from three. I think that he may shoot a little bit better than people might give him credit for. You know, maybe he can be somewhere around 33% from three, 34% from three. He was 31% from three in college, like Chen is saying. I think maybe he can do a little bit better than that in the NBA if the floor is opened up for him. I'm giving him this season, because he shoots a low percentage and because now we have, you know, other guys that can really score the basketball. Well, I don't want to say really score the basketball, but guys in Julius Randle that can score. Alonzo Trier can score the basketball. Hopefully Kevin Knox is going to be able to score a little bit more this year. You know, Bobby Portis can score the basketball. I'm going to give him about 13 points, and I think he's going to do well on the glass this season. I'm going to give him about 13 and 6, and I'll be happy with that, really. You know, I'm going to give him about 13 and 6. Does he start or does he come off the bench? I think from the beginning of the season they're going to try to start him. That's what I think. I think they're going to let him start him. I think he's going to start. And then they'll take it from there. You know, and I think he's gonna, you know, yeah, that's what I think. And then they'll take it from there. I want to know what you guys think about RJ Barrett. What do you think he does this season? Rookie season. And what will be acceptable to you? You know, what it make you happy? I'm gonna start with City. City, R.J. Barrett. We're doing some predictions for R.J. Barrett. What do you think he does this year? Edward Hunter, he said that 13 points is a low ball for R.J. I don't know if it's a low ball. I think 13 points is about where it will be because I don't think he's going to shoot a high percentage from the field. That's why. What are you giving him? What kind of percentages and point production are you giving him?
So point production, I'm gonna go with what I just said. I'm gonna go with about 15, depending on if he's starting or not. But either way, I think he can reach that number. Percentage wise, I want to say 40% from the field. I'm going to give him some good numbers. I'll say 34 from 3.
Okay.
Just because, he's got potential, and I'm going to do a bold prediction real quick. As soon as he hits his first game-winning shot, I'm going to say the Maple Mambas got syrup in his veins.
Okay. Got syrup in his veins.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Let me get the Mo. What do you think, man? RJ Barrett, what kind of numbers are you giving him for the season?
It's gonna be a good year for him. Like the thing about David Fizdale is that he gives his young players a lot of latitude. So like when you look at what Kevin Knox did, like he sucked, but he continued to play because that's just what David Fizdale did. So I think that's like the kind of direction we're gonna go in terms of numbers. He's sharing that shooting guard spot. I think he's a shooting guard. He's sharing that shooting guard spot with Alonzo Trier, Wayne Ellington. So he's probably gonna go I'll say 28 to 30 minutes a game. And then give him I'll say around 15, 16. And then he's gonna do a lot of assists. So I'll say 5 assists and 5 rebounds. And some triple doubles thrown in there. Some really big, games that show that he's gonna be a superstar. So okay. I'm looking forward to it. It's good. That was our summer right there. So yeah.
I think what you said makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? I think it makes a lot of sense. And when he starts to have some of those games where he can show that where he shows that he can handle it, that's when you start to get the reputation. Your first year, maybe, you're the second or third option. Right. And then your second year, you're moving up the ladder. Your third year, it's okay, he's ready. And that's what, hopefully we can get from him. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that's what we can get from him. Anybody else want to jump in with RJ Barrett real quick? Nate, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so the two things that come to my mind about RJ Barrett is versatility. He could play the 1, 2, and the 3, and I think you'll see him play those positions multiple times in the season. Also, 2, he's got the potential to be a playmaker. We saw that in the summer league. The guy was, near triple-double with assists, rebounds, and points. The thing with RJ Barrett is I don't want to give him percentages, so I'm just going to go – I think he's going to be 15, 5, and 5. I think those are very doable numbers. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I think those are very he can do those numbers. And the thing is, I kind of disagree with you, Sim, on the argument that he'll probably be a better 3-point shooter. I think he's going to be better inside because that's his game. If you watched him at Duke, he played inside. He got to the free throw line and he was able to get to the basket at the cup. To whereas I think a 3-point will take a little bit more time because I don't think he's going to be a good jump shooter or a 3-point shooter early on. I think a lot of his points are going to come off free throws and getting to the line.
I agree with you.
Free throws and layups.
I think he'll definitely he's going to go to the line a lot. Yeah. I think that he's going to. I think he's going to be a better shooter than people give him credit for.
I hope so, man. We got a lot of bad shooters on this team, so I sure as hell hope so, man. I hope you're 100% right on that.
Yeah, I was watching his shot in Summer League, and I was, it's a little softer than I thought. He has decent touch on it. He's just got to get the accuracy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Guillermo?
With RJ, it's going to take some time because the system that he was playing with in at Duke, I thought was kind of primitive. It was basically a two-man show with him and Zion. Even Cam Reddish was like a tertiary guy. So I think the best thing to do with him, look, he's going to struggle from the three because he's not a good all-ball shooter yet, right? So he's going to struggle to find that. I do think he's going to get some easy points. His bread and butter is going to be from playing down low against undersized guards or guards who are smaller and more weaker than him. And then also if we play more of the pick and roll, because again, when he's out in space, he can be effective. And I think that his numbers can take a nice boost if we play him, predominantly from the point guard position where he can have that perspective. He doesn't have to catch and shoot. He doesn't have to just play straight from the wing and have, his defender plus the center closing in on him. Without any help. So if you play him from the up top with the pick and roll, like the Portmans, the Wayne Wade when he first started out, I think he could really do well. I think the assist numbers can go up or stay, be relatively high. If you play some point guard position with the pick and roll, the rebound numbers they are where they are. I think a little inflated just because of college. It remains to be seen how his energy would translate to the NBA if he's going to be an energy guy where he's getting those rebounds and stuff like that. So it is what it is. For percentages, I think he's going to shoot from probably, like you said, a low 40%. I think threes, he might struggle unless you see a vast development. He might struggle to get above 30, 31, 32%. He shot 30% from three in college. Yeah. So, but he also a high usage player. His PR in college like 23.3, which actually compares to Paul George. That's NBA versus college, so it's a little different. But, if you get him in a position where he's a high usage player and not necessarily scoring, he's facilitating moving the ball, he could be a good stat stuffer his rookie year and then slowly learn how to shoot. If we get another guard to play off of him, that shooting number could go up.
Yeah. See, I just feel like I think that his threes just may surprise some people even this year. I'm not saying he's going to be like 38%. I'm thinking he might be more towards, like I said, from 33%, which to me, I think would surprise people. When I look at his shot, I mean, it's definitely not broken, and he definitely has good touch. You know what I'm saying?
I think, and sorry to cut you off quick. I know you got other guys to get to. A guy that not that he reminds me of, but a guy where he could show improvement, or that he should probably take some film, or whatever. Remember how Wilson Chandler was shooting? Mm-hmm. Right, like when he first came from DePaul, his shot was so broken. It was one of the most disgusting looking things ever. And then I don't know who got him to it, but he changed the shot where he became, at least that year with the Knicks, a half year or whatever, he became close to like a 40% shooter from the three. Yeah, and his shot looked a lot better. RJ doesn't jump. It seems like it's kind of like a set shot kind of.
Right, he doesn't jump that much. But, with Wilson Chandler, it could have been PEDs or something. You know what I'm saying?
You said what?
I said, with Wilson Chandler, it could have been PEDs.
Come on. All right, man. That's dirty, man. That's dirty. Let him live, man. Damn, son.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Grimy, man.
Hey, got to take a stab at the Nets whenever we get a chance. You know what I mean? Whenever we get a chance. All right, next guy up the bat is Iggy. That's the next guy up the bat. You know what I mean? And, I know you can't see him, but Ignaz Brazdeikis, 6'7", 221 pounds. And I know I didn't go through that with Kadeem Allen and RJ Barrett, but I guess I can do that at least. Right? 6'9", 6'7", 221 pounds. He's a small forward / power forward. As far as Iggy, honestly, I'm not sure because he's got to crack the lineup first. Right? He's got to crack the lineup. And that may be difficult with this particular team because there's so many wing players on this team. I mean, this team is made up of wing players. You know, which is cool. You know, he's got his NBA contract. Okay, for I think it's 2 years or whatever it is, something like that. He was the 46 pick or whatever it was. I guess it's okay. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be an issue or a crisis if he's not getting a lot of playing time. You know what I mean? If he's not getting a lot of playing time, it's not gonna be a crisis. There's gonna be some forwards that he's behind, but a lot of those guys may not be here next year, which is, you give him a chance to grow. You give him a chance to, get his feet wet in the NBA. And then when those guys are gone, he's ready to step in and play. Now, if he can come in the training camp and just prove to everybody that, hey, I need to be here on the floor, then there you go. You know what I mean? He'll take that position. What do I think he's gonna Iggy? I'm giving him between 5 and 10 minutes a game this season. Between 5 and 10 minutes a game, points, rebound, statistics. I mean, what can you really do if you're only getting 5 minutes a game, to prove anything? I will say this. I think in situational basketball, if we're in some tight games and we need some 3-point shooters, we may see, that's when you might really see Iggy surface. And that's where I think if we get into some of those type of games, that's where he can start to show and prove that he needs to be on the floor. He gets into some of those games, knocks down a couple of corner threes, or wherever else he knocks down some threes, makes some energy plays like he can make. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, this guy needs to be out here on the floor. You know what I mean? So, let's see. I see a lot of guys here saying that they think Iggy's going to be a key part to the season. Kodak Vlogs said, you think Iggy's going to be a key part to the season. I've seen some other people that say, hey, Iggy was paid $4 million. That means he's going to play. I mean, $4 million in today's NBA is not, I mean, that's not much money in today's NBA, relatively speaking. That's not much money. You know what I mean? It's hard to say with Iggy though. It's hard to say. But those are my predictions. I want to see what you guys think. All right. I'm gonna come to Viv.
Yeah. With Iggy, it's gonna be tough. I think what'll happen, in my opinion, is I think someone's gonna get hurt and he's gonna play some minutes. I don't know at what point in the season he's gonna play those minutes, but it'll happen. And I'm saying that right before before the All-Star game, obviously. Second half, I'll see him play more. He'll get more minutes then. Again, I don't know how it's going to work out, but he'll get his minutes in the second half of the season. But I think he'll spend a lot of his time split between, the team here and then in Westchester. Try to get him shuffling during off days and whatever. But yeah, it's going to be very hard to get minutes here. And I think when he does get minutes, it'll be a little bit inconsistent in my eyes. I think what we saw during summer league, it looked good, but I think the lack of athleticism, it will probably hit him at some point in the season. I don't know when, but he'll have his moments, but I don't think it'll be that much this year. Next year is a different story, but probably not this year.
Do you think he's going to be able to guard threes in the NBA, or is he going to play 4?
At this point, I don't know if he's going to guard threes. I don't see it, only because I don't think he's athletic enough to guard the threes. But I don't know if he has the leg strength to guard 4s yet either. So he's in a weird place, right?
Yeah.
But if we were to flip between, okay, where is he going to guard better, the 1 or the 3 or the 4? He'd probably guard the 3 better in my eyes. I think the 4 will lead him to different mismatches, and I think when he faces up against shooters, especially those stretch 4s, I think that'll be tough. So he might be able to get away with it at 3, but maybe there'll be less. He'll be exposed less as a 3. I don't. It'll be weird, right? Like, conventionally speaking, he probably shouldn't be as good of a defender as a 3, but it might end up being the case this season. But
yeah,
it'll be tough. I think it's just there's not enough minutes. That's the real problem, right?
That's the thing. Right, there's just not enough minutes. You would love to see him be able to get on the floor and actually play, right, and get that basketball, get that NBA experience. If this was last year, he'd play.
Oh yeah,
if this was last year, he'd play. This year, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the same. I feel like they're going to. And this doesn't mean that he can't be a participant on a winning team. I think right now, if they're trying to win basketball games, right now there's better players in front of them.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Which is going to make it hard. I think it's going to make it a little bit tough for him. It's going to be interesting to watch throughout training camp. I could tell you that. Nate?
Yeah, man. Iggy's my second favorite player behind Frank, and I'll tell you what, man, I love his toughness, his mentality, his fearlessness. I mean, I'm telling you, man, Ginobili 2.0, man. I mean, you look at Ginobili and you look at him, their games are very similar, very unorthodox offense, possible playmaking potential. Ginobili probably was a little bit better defender than Ignis, but the thing is that I agree. I think this year, because of all the players, we have a lot of depth. So Iggy's not going to really get to shine as much as we want him to. But mark my words, he is a future sixth man on this team because he can score. He has a scoring mentality. He can put the ball in the bucket. I don't care if people say it was in summer league. I don't care. He showed he can score from threes. He can score inside. He can score off. He's got different ways of scoring. So I see him as a future six man for our team. Okay. Going forward. But this year it's not going to be that way because of the whole depth situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This one, Guillermo?
Yeah, let's pump the brakes. Look, Vivek made a good point in terms of athleticism on how you're going to upkeep that. Now, what I do think that Iggy is, I think that he's a threat to Fizdale's philosophy of eat what you kill, because if Iggy does come in, and Iggy's gonna be looked at as a 3-and-D player. If he can beat a 3-and-D player, even in the preseason, and play good defense, he's gonna struggle between speed at the 3 and strength at the 4. But if he can, be that hasty kind of guy, disrupt guys, dribble, stop them from penetrating and drawing fouls on Iggy, and he's shooting, threes that say, 37, 38%, he has to eat what he kills, right? And so he would have to start. And I think that, yes, he will struggle. Shooting in college is very different. But once I think 3-and-D guys get a groove, they can be effective. Now, in terms of him being this great player, look, I agree. He's probably going to, at best, especially when the guys leave at the if guys leave, if we don't make a playoff run and guys leave at the before the second half, he's going to probably average around 10 points, probably 35, 36% from 3, maybe 4 or 5 rebounds, 1 assist, here and there. He's going to be an energy guy, 3-and-D player, hustle guy. To say he's this and that, look, let's pump the brakes. As much as I think Summer League is instrumental in helping some guys, it's Summer League. Yes, Summer League has helped players, but also Summer League has showcased some guys who didn't do jack diddly squat later on. So let's just pump the brakes. We also have to see how this guy translate when we're playing against the big boys, when we're playing against, the Paul Georges, when we're playing against the Kawhi Leonards, guys who can literally shut down out 3 to 4s with ease, and turn Iggy, into a little scaredy cat. But I think Iggy's going to be good. If he plays in 3D role, if he learns spacing, if he develops spacing at the NBA level, keeps confidence in his shot and plays good defense, harasses guys before they can dribble the ball, especially the threes in this league, he can have a good career or a good rookie season.
Okay, and the thing about him too is he's young too. He was a young one and done guy. A lot of times those one and done, when you're drafting guys down in 44, 45, 46, 47, sometimes they're older. Whatever the situation is, he's a one and done guy, so he's got time to grow and develop in the league.
And Sim, he was a second rounder. So I think it's better when you have less expectations on you, and then you expand your game versus you have so many of them, and you have to kind of whittle down to what you're good at. So
So, we'll see how that's gonna go with Iggy, man. That's gonna be see how it's gonna go with Iggy. Next up, the bat. Reggie Bullock, and I can make this one quick. I don't expect much from Reggie Bullock this season because of his injury. He may not even play the season. Who knows? You know what I mean? Listen, it was the Knicks did a very good job of monitoring Reggie Bullock. They had one contract situation. Then when they found out about, his health, they were able to renegotiate with Reggie Bullock, and then they used that to get Marcus Morris. Very good job. That's very good. That's good management to me. That's good cap management. That's means you're paying attention. You're smart. That's good. And the fact that, let's put it like this. Like I said earlier, I like to have a regime that is not afraid to do right by the players. Okay? They committed to Reggie Bullock in a contract. They hadn't been signed yet, but they made the commitment. Now this comes up where, all right, there's some issues with his health, but they didn't back off the commitment. They said, okay, listen, we made a commitment to you. We're going to give you a job because we made a commitment to you. But we've got to renegotiate this contract because blah, 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 blah. And so I think, I like the fact that I just like the way the front office moved in that situation, but I don't expect Reggie Bullock to play much at all this season. If he does, who knows what he'll give us or what it'll be, I don't know if anyone has any other information. Feel free to enlighten me. Go ahead, Guillermo.
I'll say this about Bullock. I'm starting to see him. I think that Bullock he's actually more instrumental than what we think, and not his play per se, right? He's probably not going to play much at all. But what Fizdale's trying to do is trying to erase all the bad will, if that there's a word for it, that Dolan created with a lot of free agents don't want to come to the Knicks. I think that Fizdale is trying to go over and beyond, and this is actually perfect because we didn't sign a KD, a Kyrie, and we're kind of bogged down with cap space, whatever. What he's trying to do is have it so that people can see the Knicks as an organization that cares, that says, hey, we found out this and that. We could have just not signed you. You would have been, excuse my language, but asked out of a contract. But we're gonna do you a solid. We're going to allow you to, rehabilitate, get healthy. And, look, you're going to play some games. And hopefully, if you're healthy, you probably trade you off for something and get you to a contender. And I think that's very important. When you have an organization where the owner is seen as so detrimental, where stars just write us off, despite the fact that New York City is one of the greatest cities in the world, if not. You know what I mean? And, winning in New York, you become a god. Forget about, you become a god in sports. And no one wants to come here. Fizdale's trying to create goodwill. And sometimes you have to overpay to kind of reverse those things. And so now Bullock might go out. Now guys might see the Bullock thing and be like, damn, that's actually a really good solid, man. Fizdale's a good guy, blah, blah. And also another way it helps is that now Dolan can't really fire Fizdale and Perry without a good reason. Like they really have to screw up, and show that they're just not worth it, because that GM, that organization, I think that, or this GM regime, I think this is probably the last regime that'll be the straw that breaks the camel's back. If Dolan fires these guys without any good reason, these guys have to just lose. If Dolan fires them, no one's really going to come and coach the Knicks, be a GM of the Knicks, and players might be put off by that. So I think this is solid that they signed Bullock. It shows goodwill. It's trying to raise some of the bad juju that Dolan has put on his team over the years.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you there. And listen, it's needed, doing things like what they like that with Reggie Bullock, just kind of sets him up and makes people look at them as a smart, intelligent, trustworthy type of front office, and that's much needed for the Knicks. Let me see. I'm gonna come to Mo. All right, and then I'll get to you, Nate. Go ahead, Mo. What do you think, man, Reggie? Well, actually, Mo, before I get to you, let me just make this quick announcement. ladies and gentlemen, I just want to announce to you really, really quick. It is now 11:42. If you plan on buying tickets, you need to get them now, right? Because you got 17 minutes until these things close down. So I'm putting right now a link in the chat. You can go right there and get those tickets. I may be able to keep it open for a few minutes after 11:59. But the thing is this, the first thing tomorrow morning, MSG is going to be done with. First thing tomorrow morning, I'll be calling MSG, purchasing the tickets, and that's it. So if you're going to get them, make sure you get them right now. Okay, I just put the link in the description. You can go get them right now. So make sure you get that done if you're going to get them done. If you plan on being with us at the home opener on October the 26th versus the Boston Celtics. Okay, let me get back to Mo as we talk about Reggie Bullock. Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, in terms of Reggie Bullock, I don't really have much to say. Like, he would have been a cool guy to have available because he's a shooter, 3-and-D guy. But now that he's going to be useless for the year, like, I guess it's cool that it's going to be. Like, I don't know. He's just going to be there for Kevin Knox and stuff. So, I don't know. Like, I have nothing else to say.
Okay. All right. Not too much about Reggie Bullock. All right, Nate, go ahead real quick, and then we're going to move on.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why Reggie Bullock was brought in was because of his shooting. I mean, the guy when healthy is a knockdown shooter, and he's shown that he can play good defense. What kind of role he has on this team this year, I don't know. It's all going to depend on his health. But, I mean, he could be a good mentor for Knox, definitely. But also, too, I think it was maybe Guillermo that brought it up. I think he could be a trade asset. You know, I think he could definitely be traded to a contender or a team that's going to need shooting, and the Knicks get something out of it.
I mean, and you know, maybe he can, or he's used as filler at some time. You know, his injury. You know, no one's gonna trade for him because they think he's a piece right now because of his injury. So, we'll see how that goes with Reggie Bullock, man. That's gonna be. We'll see how that goes. The next is Damyean Dotson, and Damyean Dotson. It's I'm not sure, man. Damyean Dotson, taking a quick look, 6'6", 210 pounds. You know, he's been in the league for 2 years. This is his third year in the league. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure where Damyean Dotson is going to fit with this team right now. He is going to be coming off injury, right? He had shoulder surgery to repair a torn labrum in his right shoulder. How long does that usually last? I don't know. I guess he's going to be ready for the start of training camp, so hopefully he'll be 100%. Where does he fit within this team right now? You know, is he a starting shooting guard? Probably not. If you're looking at RJ Barrett to be the starting shooting guard, if we think he's going to be the starting shooting guard, does he get minutes over Alonzo Trier? Does he get minutes over Wayne Ellington? He can also play the 3. You got Marcus Morris. You got Kevin Knox. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. But I don't want to sleep on Damyean Dotson. You know, we would look, you know, people will probably look and say, some people will probably say, he's just going to ride the end of the bench. He's a talented guy. His offense is not well refined, you know what I mean? So he's basically a 3-and-D type of a shooting guard / small forward. He can slash to the basket. Doesn't really create his own shot. Very, he can be good on the fast break. I feel like I guess what I feel like with Damyean Dotson is that, he's going to probably be third string, maybe behind Alonzo Trier, duking it out with Wayne Ellington for playing time in that third string position, something like that. And he may get some minutes here and there. I think he'll have some games when people are down, be playing back-to-backs. Maybe he has a few games where he gets in and really does something. And then maybe if there are trades by the end of the season, by the middle of the season, then he comes in and he's got his role. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't even know if I want to put a number on Damyean Dotson as far as points and rebounds and assists and things like that, because I'm not exactly sure where he's going to fit with these guys. You know what I'm saying? And what to expect minutes-wise for Damyean Dotson. It's me. You said Dotson is more efficient than Trier. That's factually wrong. Alonzo Trier was very efficient last season. Trier was like 48% from the field and 40% from three or something like that. Damyean Dotson was not that. So that's not the truth. That's not the truth. So I want to know what you guys think about Damyean Dotson and where Damyean Dotson is going to fit in, because this is another tough one for me, and just knowing where Damyean Dotson might fit in within the team. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come back to Mo because he didn't have much to say about Reggie Bullock, and then we'll get around. Go ahead, Mo.
So yeah, like honestly, I would have to say that. Why is this? Okay, yeah. Honestly, like I just think that Damyean Dotson is like very important to this team because of his defense. Like he's gonna be like a guy who's not gonna see playing time a lot of times, but when there's somebody who's like cooking RJ, cooking Alonzo, Fizdale is gonna put Dotson in, and Dotson's gonna be able to fill that offensive void, but at the same time lock down. So I think it's really important for him to like just really like make it so that like he's like a defensive guy. Like he needs to get his defensive game even better than what it ever was. Like Damyean, I really love him. Like I love him because he's a catch and shoot guy. He doesn't, demand the ball too much. So like I really want him to succeed, and I think that if we just like if Fizdale uses him at the right times in the rotation, he'll have a very successful year. So yeah.
Okay. All right. You want to put some numbers on what do you think he's gonna do?
I don't think the numbers are gonna tell the story, like, because there's just gonna be times when he's not gonna play. Like, there's too many guards. We got Wayne Ellington. I forgot to say Wayne Ellington. We got RJ. Like it could go anywhere from like 5 a game to like 8. I think he averaged 10 last year. He's not gonna be able to average 10 on this team. So I think he's gonna be from 5 to 8, but he's just gonna be that defensive specialist type of guy.
Okay. All right. Let's see what some other people's thinking about. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, Dotson, man, he's up and down, man. He's very inconsistent. I mean, there's times where he looks really good and you think he's going to stay, and then there's times you're like, man, this guy's got to go. He's in a contract year, right?
Is he in a contract year?
I think he's on a.
I'm not. Let me check. I'll check for you right now what Damyean Dotson's contract is like. He may be. Damyean Dotson.
I think he is.
Yes. This is the last year of his contract.
Okay. So this is make or break for him, basically. If he's gonna stay with the Knicks, then he's got to prove it. If he doesn't, then he's gonna go somewhere else, or they'll let him go. The one thing I think that he brings to the table is he's a very versatile player. He can play the 2, he can play the 3, but most of the thing is the only way I see him cracking the lineup is if he gets his defense up. His defense was very disappointed last year. He had a great rookie year, but his defense was terrible last year. He needs to get that defense up because there are going to be times where guys like Knox, Morris, Barrett are going to have trouble guarding those quick guards or big forwards. And Damyean Dotson's got some good size. He's 6'6", but his calling card is defense. The guy can play defense, but he's got to pick up the defense. That's the only way I see him crack the lineup is if he plays defense.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to comment about Damyean Dotson? City? What's going on?
Yeah, man. Hey, I just want to say this. I think, and it's unfortunate because I was on the free dot bandwagon, like, you know what I mean, from the get go. But I think he's got one foot out the door, man. Unfortunately, like, you know what I mean, because we've been picking up a lot of guards and we've been picking up a lot of shooting guards and guards that can do the same type of things that he can. So I think his job is up in the air because we already know when Dot is on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. Like, let's just say that straight out the joint, straight out the get-go. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's getting him his 1 foot out the door. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have him at the trade deadline.
If we don't have a what?
I said I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have him at the trade deadline.
Oh, yeah. And listen, if something happens where, there's, somebody big that the Knicks are looking to trade for, then Damyean Dotson, he's in a contract year, like Nate was just saying. He could be a prime candidate to be moved. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Yeah, I think he's on the block. He's on the block, man.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
Let's see. Next person we're going to get into, Wayne Ellington. Wayne Ellington is 6'5", 200 pounds. He's been in the league for 10 years. We're not going to go and break down the whole profile. Like I said, we're going to save that for the season preview series. But Wayne Ellington, as far as Wayne Ellington, it's weird. It's kind of weird. He can go from starting to not playing at all, really, with Wayne Ellington. He's a crafty type, and I think it's going to depend on the direction of the team this season with what happens with Wayne Ellington. He's definitely a guy that can knock down the three, so he can spread the floor for you. He can play. He's a decent defender. I'm not saying he's all world, but he's a decent defender. So he's a guy that can come in and play some defense for you. I don't know. I mean, he's the kind of guy that's going to fit into any system because he can shoot the three. If you play a fast tempo system, you need guys that can shoot threes. If you're playing half court, you need guys that can shoot threes. So he can fit into any system and he can play some defense. Is he good enough to say you've got to play over Trier or you got to play over Dotson or you're going to play over Barrett? I don't know. I think that he just ends up, my prediction with Wayne Ellington is he ends up being a guy that's, he gets some playing time here and there. Or, when somebody's hurt, he steps in, or if you just need to settle down that position right now, maybe you put him in the game or something like that. That's what I'm thinking from Wayne Ellington right now. You know what I mean? Right now. Although I will just reserve this little bit of a tidbit. You look at the people we have at shooting guard besides Trier, if you're talking about RJ Barrett, if you're talking about maybe Dennis Smith Jr. playing there sometimes, if you want to say Frank Ntilikina to play in there sometimes, Wayne Ellington is going to be a better shooter than all those guys except for Alonzo Trier right now. Wayne Ellington's done it for a career. Alonzo Trier's done it for 1 year. And Wayne Ellington is a catch and shoot type of guy, can come off screens a little bit. Trier doesn't exactly do that right now. It's hard to say. There's going to be, I don't predict him playing that much. Getting some spot minutes basically is what I want to say. Spot minutes for Wayne Ellington. Let me see. Rob the Nick, tell me what you think, man.
Oh,
Wayne Ellington.
I think you hit it dead right. Players like him, to me, that shoot better from 3 than 2, they they can get lost on the bench because you'll just bring them in certain situations, and there's always a better player just because he doesn't operate good from 2-point range, which will be most of the places when he's standing around on the court or moving on the court, unless he's just spotting up. So, I think you hit it on the head. I think he'll fall down in between like that 8th and 9th slot, fighting for minutes around there. And then if he do, he might anywhere between 4 and 7 points a game, around that, unless someone get hurt. Then he might can go to 10. That's about what I've seen from him. No more, no less.
Yeah.
Good trade piece.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a good trade piece. Yeah, I mean that's about what I see with him too.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like you don't need 30 seconds to break down that.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Nate.
Yeah, Wayne Ellington, man. I think when he signed with the Knicks, he saw the roster and saw the guards that are in front of him. But I will say this, that if there's an injury with R.J. Barrett or Trier, I think Fizdale will be more likely to lean towards Wayne Ellington because he's already been a starting guard in the NBA. Like you said, he's started on teams before, so he's got that experience, and he's a good shooter. I mean, that seems to be a good recipe for somebody to plug and play if somebody else goes down.
Okay, yeah, and that's what he's going to be. He's going to be that insurance policy, I think. Go ahead, Guillermo.
Yeah, I actually kind of disagree with all you guys because Wayne Ellington, if you look at his numbers last year, I mean, he averaged 12 points, no real assists, like 1.5 assists, 2 rebounds, but he also averaged, I mean, 3-point shooting was 37.3, which is above average. Field goal percent, his field goal shooting was 42.1, but he also averaged 27.3 minutes per game, and that was the highest of his career for a Detroit team that just edged into the playoffs. So if the Knicks are on the cusp of a playoffs, you usually kind of narrow down your roster. So if the Knicks are around the 30-something, high 30-something 40s wins, Wayne Ellington might, play some heavy minutes. He's not going to play 5 or 10 minutes. He might play more than that because the thing that Fizdale's trying to do with some of these guys, he's trying to establish an identity. And so Wayne Ellington, yes, he's not the most athletic. He's not R.J. Barrett. He's not Trier. He's a catch-and-shoot guy, but he's a prototypical catch-and-shoot guard. So if he shoots at those high percentages and the Knicks are winning, and again, he complements a DSJ well, right? He complements R.J. Barrett if Barrett plays at a 1. He complements, even a Frank. He's an off-ball player. He doesn't need the ball to be useful. So he actually might play more minutes and be more useful to his team than expected. And again, if we don't make the playoffs and you trade him, but he actually might play heavy minutes. I just don't see him going from 27.3 minutes a night to 5-10 minutes. Because of this,
but that's where, when I started off saying, I was like, he could be a guy that I can see being a starter or I can see being at the end of the bench. I'm not exactly sure. I'm thinking that he might be fighting. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I agree with you. I really do agree with you that when you're talking about even with Elfrid Payton, he's not that good of a shooter. So if your point guard, we don't know what Dennis Smith Jr., how he's going to look with his shot. He's been working on it. But if you just base it on last year's performance, none of our point guards can shoot the ball from 3. So then you
Or
really
play on
need
ball,
your
yes.
shooting guard to be able to hit from 3 to spread the floor. Now, he doesn't shoot that well from the field. If he's shooting 37% from 3, that means from 2 he's shooting 42%, 43%. I guess it's okay because his field goal percentage is 40% overall.
Right. I mean, he shot from 2-point percentage. He shot 60.7%, which is the highest of his career. So it goes to show you that. I mean, I don't know exactly what his usage rate is, but you increase his minutes, and he's been in the NBA since 2009. This is the old heady veteran guy who can actually play a little bit above average, right? And so you talk about guys like Trier and stuff. Do you put out a lineup out there that, yes, you have a bunch of scorers, but there's no chemistry per se? Because how do you play DSJ and Trier? None of your forwards are ever going to get the ball if you have in those two guys' hands, unless DSJ shows vast improvement. So you put a guy like Ellington in to kind of steady the ship and have complementary guys to your guards and even your forwards. So, I'm not even trying to get I'm not issuing on anybody's perspective. I just think that when we look at Wayne Ellington, we have to kind of look at it, with a little bit of a wider eye as to why he's here. I just think that he's a little bit more valuable than just being an end of the bench. And I agree with you. Yes, he can be that, but even then, I just find it too hard because if he was end of the bench, that means that RJ Barrett is playing out of his mind to the point where RJ Barrett would have to be playing out of his mind, and DSJ would have to be playing out of his mind. And one of those guys have to learn how to play off ball quickly. So Ellington is void.
I mean, where do you see him in the group of minutes? I mean, I feel like he's going to be a spot minute type of guy. In the group of just looking at, okay, he's a 2. He's not playing any other position. He's 6'5". Right. He's not playing any other position. So you have RJ Barrett, Alonzo Trier, Damyean Dotson, Wayne Ellington.
You might play. You actually, it sounds crazy. I could see Ellington starting because if you're talking about bringing your guys around slowly, right? You could have a unit where you have a DSJ, Ellington to play off ball. You play your Marcus Morris, your Randle, Mitch. And then your second unit can be that you can have the Elfrid Payton who's going to facilitate, and then have a guy like Knox who can hit threes, who should be playing more off ball like he did in Kentucky. You have Payton, Knox. You can even play RJ Barrett in that second unit. Iggy, Portis. You can have a more of a scoring, attacking, aggressive unit. And obviously you could mix and match, these guys throughout the lineups. But, I see Wayne Ellington, he's a steadying force. He's a guy that, he kind of offsets everyone else's game in a way. Not offsets, but he complements it. So I can see Ellington starting some heavy minutes. I can see 20, anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes a night. And if he does well, probably even more if we make the playoffs. Or we get closer.
Listen. I mean, you're definitely right. He played 27 minutes in Detroit on a team that was, what were they, 500 last year?
Yeah, they made the playoffs the last day of the regular season.
He's 500. We're gonna see. I mean, he like I said, he's a guy that can be a starter. He's a guy that can be at the end of the bench. It's very tough to say, but he is a guy that can fit into any lineup, I think. Because he spreads the floor and can play defense, I think he can fit into any single lineup that you put on the floor. Yeah. All right, real quick, Nate.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback on what Gitmo was saying. The truth is, man, I mean, Wayne Ellington's a savvy vet. And the thing is that if the Knicks are winning and Wayne Ellington's a big part of it, I don't care who the young guards are that aren't getting playing time. We're all about winning. We want to win. So we're going to go with whoever Fizdale trusts. And I think I could see him trust a guy like Wayne Ellington because he's already been through the grind. He's been through the wars. And you want a guy like that in the playoffs or if you're fighting to get to the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I see Viv is back. Went away for a minute. But I'm gonna go on, and if he wants to jump in about Wayne Ellington or anybody else, he can. Taj Gibson. Okay, now we get into some guys, right? Taj Gibson he's 6'9", 232 pounds. He's been in the league for 10 years. All right, he's a crafty veteran, knows how to play. He's been on winning teams most of his career. I think that Taj Gibson is going to play. And I'm not saying that Taj Gibson is going to be, 30 minutes a night. He's reaching towards the end of his career. 30 minutes a night is not what Taj Gibson is going to do. But I think he's going to play significant minutes and be a good part of this team. And I think that he'll still be around his 8 to 10 points, 6 to 7 rebounds a game. That's what I think. I think he's just a steady guy, a steady pro, and that's what I think he'll be. He's going to be that kind of guy that can just settle things down, something that we've just been missing. And I know, Lance Thomas was that veteran that can teach guys, but he couldn't come in and settle things down. And when I say settle things down, I don't mean settle things down as far as scoring. I mean settle things down just as far as corralling the troops, getting everybody together. Lance Thomas wasn't that. Taj Gibson is that. Taj Gibson is that guy, who I think can come in and just get everyone together and be the teacher on the floor. And I think he's gonna play a significant role, especially if the Knicks are good. I think he'll play a significant role in the Knicks being good. I'm giving him 8 to 10 points, 6 to 7 rebounds a game. That's where I'm giving Taj. And let me see, Viv, since you're back, let's come to you, Viv. One second. There you go.
Yeah, so sorry about that. I had to leave to take care of a couple of things. But Taj, I think he's going to play quite a few minutes. I think I wouldn't be surprised. He might. Who knows? I think something crazy could happen. He could end up starting. I wouldn't count that out. I think he's a steady presence. I think he will make a big difference to our bigs, especially Mitch. And I think it'll be fun seeing him out there. I think hopefully. He's been a very durable player. I hope that being in New York helps him keep that durability, but he seems like a type of guy that, will do whatever it takes to stay healthy. So I'm looking forward to his presence, and I think it'll rub off on players the right way. Now, to go back to Wayne Ellington, just 10 seconds, I think his success will really depend on our point guards. If they don't play well, then he won't play well.
Yeah, he is that. Yeah, I agree with you there too. He is that kind of a guy because he's not creating his own shot. He really does depend on that 3-point shot to go down for him. So yeah, I agree with you there. Definitely agree with you. It's gonna depend on our point guards. Elfrid Payton will have a lot to do with that because he's the one, not the only one. I guess Frank Ntilikina is kind of in the mold of an Elfrid Payton. But Elfrid Payton, he's a guy that can really get the ball around, I think. And if he's getting the ball out to the guys and Wayne Ellington is in a lineup with him, then I think that he could do well.
Yeah, a lot of it will depend on what they run. If they can get Ellington off curls, if they can get him off different actions, they'll be a lot more effective than if he's just standing in the corner waiting for threes.
Yeah. I hope that Fizdale has those actions and knows. It still remains to be seen if Fizdale is he an offensive minded coach, or does he have can he bring to you a creative offense? Is he a defensive guy that can really rile the troops and have good defensive schemes? Or is he just a rah-rah motivational guy? Not sure yet. Not sure yet.
I don't know.
And I don't know, with the type of guys that we have on the team, we got some guys that can, offensively they can play some basketball, but you're still going to need to be able to put them in positions, Yeah.
Great.
So, yeah, we're gonna see. That remains to be seen with Fizdale. Nate, go ahead, Nate. Oh, one second. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, man, Taj Gibson is one of my favorite players to watch. I remember watching him on the Bulls. I mean, he comes from a Thibodeau defensive style, that rugged mentality. Always gave the Knicks fits every time. I think first and foremost, he's going to be a great mentor to Mitch, probably even better mentor than DJ was, because he's going to really hone in on the defensive side because that's his calling card. Also, too, he's going to be great in back-to-backs. I think if I do see Mitch starting, so I think there's going to be times where on back-to-backs they're probably going to rest Mitch and maybe put Taj in. And then, of course, you know, if Mitch does go down, Taj Gibson can step in and can hold it down on the defensive side because he just knows how to play. You know, we talked about Wayne Ellington, how you can just plug and play him in anything. I think Taj Gibson's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's defensive mentality. He knows how to rebound. He can score inside. He's rugged. He's tough. You know, he fits perfect.
Yeah, he's kind of that same type of player. Taj Gibson definitely is. Mo, you want to get in? Taj Gibson, anything you want to say about Taj?
Yeah, I hope Taj retires a Knick, honestly. Like,
okay,
he's gonna be great. He's gonna like put a lot of like just, you know, he's gonna put a lot of people on their asses, you know. Like, it's just like I want him to just be that enforcer off the bench, and like if there's a trade involving Bobby Portis, which I really see happening, I see him just having like a really like big role on the team, like a huger role than if Bobby Portis wasn't on the team. So that was on the team. So yeah.
Okay.
But I love Taj. He's from New York. He's gonna bring that pride that like whenever we're down, he's gonna be like, yo, like this is the Knicks. This is something way more serious than you even know. So I'm really excited to see him go out and just play. Also, just about the David Fizdale thing, like I kind of like I see him as like a motivational guy only, and it's really alarming that we didn't really see like sets, like real sets that we could identify with. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, and I'm hoping that it was just because things were so, I don't want to say crazy, but the situation from last year, hopefully because of the situation from last year and, you know, tanking and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't see those sets, and hopefully this year we'll get a chance to see him a little more. I'm a little bit skeptical, and listen, Fizz was my guy, right? But I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm not sure. We're going to find out, though. We will see. Yeah. Let me get to Guillermo. I was about to say Guillermo once again. Go ahead, Guillermo.
Yo, so don't correct yourself. Just say Guillermo, man. I don't care. Yo, but yeah, I agree with the Taj Gibson thing, man. Look, what you said, Mo. First and foremost, Taj Gibson from Fort Greene. That's my hood. Just now all gentrified now. Anyway, I'm just happy that the kid's on the team because yes, we need character guys, you need culture guys, you need guys who kind of play above their contract. And look, his athleticism is a little waning. He's 34, 35 years old, so he's not the Taj Gibson of the Bulls. But yes, you're still getting a guy who's serviceable as a center, can play tough, will give you those 6 hard fouls, play smart, has good footwork around the rim. You know, I still miss DJ because I think DJ was excellent for Mitch Robinson and for a guy playing at that. But if Taj Gibson can really teach this guy how to use his footwork better down low, you know, we can see a Mitch who, one, is going to get better balance because this guy really doesn't have great balance, especially on the offensive end, and get some moves, man. Learn how to get some turnaround, some type of moves down low because Mitch Robinson just can't be, you know, you don't want his ceiling to just be a DJ guy. So, you know, look, I'm hoping that Taj Gibson, I also do hope he retires a Knick. He's one of those type of guys that, look, he's a glue guy. He's the type of guy that, you know, he's going to be, you know, if we made the playoffs as a, you know, he'll give you like some weird, important 15, 20 minutes where he's getting blocks, he's harassing guys in the defensive end. You know, he's getting good, smart fouls when, you know, he is getting fouled. So stuff like that. Look, Taj Gibson, bring him on. And with Fizzo, Mo said what I said last season, Sim, what me and Isaiah got killed for last season, that Fizzo needs to bring – I'm sorry, my bad. I got to fix my mic. But Fizzo has to bring offensive sets to this team. When you have kids who are impressionable, who are young, who kind of wet behind the ears, you know, you need guys or coaches who can teach them sets to get them easy shots, get them easy high possession shots. Fizzo, I'm not sure if he can do that. What he had with the Grizzlies was a ready-made team that he made a little, you know, he did well with them for the 1.5 years he's there. Fizzo has to develop these guys. It can't just be rah, rah, rah. It can't be, I'm going to bring your favorite star from, you know, whatever, from this team to come and talk to you. It has to be, hey, I'm teaching you this. I'm teaching you this spacing. I'm teaching you when you see this set on defense, when you have this look on defense, what do you do? And we need a teacher like that, man. We need somebody to come in and do that. And Fizzo, learn it from Spoelstra, learn it from whoever coaches you're friends with, learn it from those guys how to get these guys in easier sets. So
yeah. I love the addition. Nate, I'll come to you. You can say something about Taj as we go on. I love the addition of Taj Gibson. He's someone that I wanted to have him for so many years. You know, I wanted to have Taj Gibson on the team just because he's just that consummate professional, and I don't mean off the floor professional, just professional on the floor and off the floor. Just knows how to do it, knows how to play. You know, he's tough, he's strong. He's one of those guys that when you go to the court and you play, and you just know no matter what, he just knows how to play basketball. You know what I mean? And you pick him up just because he knows how to play basketball and he's tough. You know what I mean? Next is Kevin Knox. And here we go. What do we expect from Kevin Knox this year? What are my predictions for Kevin Knox? Kevin Knox. Well, what do I want to say about Kevin Knox? I want to see Kevin Knox. I want to see him, one, not fade away from games, stay in the game mentally, stay in the game physically. I think that's the first thing. And then I want to see how his offensive game has evolved. You know, I like one of the moves that I've seen him do throughout the summer league. I like the fact that he was dipping his shoulder, bang, and then going, go finishing to the basket. I like that. His 3-point shot, man, I feel like if he can be consistent in the NBA, that thing can be pure. You know what I mean? I want to see Kevin Knox move up to about 13 points a game. I think he was at 11 or 12 last season, 10 or 11, whatever it was. I want to see him at least be 13 points a game, but I want to see him be better on the boards. I'm going to predict 13 points a game, 7 rebounds. That's what I'm predicting for Kevin Knox. Am I pushing on the rebounds? I don't know, but I think he should. I think he should be somewhere. I think he can be a, you know, when you go down in the future, years from now, you know, he can be 18, 19, 20 points and 10 rebounds a game. That's what I think he can and should be. You know what I mean? I actually think that Kevin Knox's long-term future, and let's take a look. We're going to, you know, just look at some things. I think his long-term future is at power forward, right? He's 6'9", 215 pounds. All right. But when I look at his body structure, he's not long and lanky like Kevin Durant, right? He's going to fill out a little bit more, I think. So I think he's going to end up being a stretch 4. That's why I think his, you know, in the next 2 or 3 years, that's why I think Kevin Knox is going to end up being like a stretch 4. You know what I mean? You know, that's why I think he's going to end up being. Right now, okay, he's at the 3. You know, he's thinner now, but I think he's going to fill out and be bigger than he is. We'll see. Or maybe he'll just be able to go either way, go, you know, be at the 3, be at the 4, and be fine either way. We'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. But I think 13 points. I'm predicting 13.7 rebounds for him. I mean, that's what I'm picking for Kevin Knox this season. I mean, and that'll be good for me. And I want to see it on a better percentage shooting, too. You know, last season, Kevin Knox last season, let's see where he was last year. And like I said, we're not going to get too much into the weeds on the stats. We're going to save that for the season preview series. But Kevin Knox last year shot 37% from the field. He shot 34% from three. You know what I mean? He still averaged 12.8 points per game. Now, his 12.8 points per game, if he averages 13 points per game this season, you know, I'm hoping that it's on a better field goal percentage, maybe 43, 44% from the field. You know, he might be taking it on a few less shots because we have more players, you know, that can score. You know, so that's where I'm looking at with Kevin Knox right now. So let's see. Nate?
Okay.
Yeah.
You got me?
Yep.
So one quick thing about Taj Gibson. I think since Kyle O'Quinn has been gone, I think we've been leading a guy like that. So I think he can be a good Kyle O'Quinn replacement. Sorry, I can't talk, man.
Okay.
As far as Knox, man, people that watched him in the summer league, there was a lot to like. The shot looked good. It looked wet. He was getting off the dribble. I think this could be Knox's big year. I really do. I think that, you know, obviously the jumper, he's got to get better at the jumper. A couple of things I want to see Knox improve on that I really think could bump his scoring up. I want to see a post up. He's 6'9". If you're going to play him in small ball 4, he can post up. He's got to work on a post up game.
Yep.
He's too tall to not be able to post up. Second of all, he's got to take it to the cup more, man. I mean, he can break people off the dribble. He's got to use that length to get to the cup. You know, Kevin Durant does it. Why can't he do it? I think he can get easier baskets on that one. And then, of course, his defense has got to pick up, man. He's got to get better on defense. The good thing with Kevin Knox is I don't think he's going to start this year. I think Marcus Morris is going to get the start at the 3, and that's perfect because Knox can learn behind Morris. I would say Knox is going to average like 15, 7, and 2 and shoot about 42 or 43% from the field.
All right. Let me see. Guillermo?
Yeah, I actually disagree. With Knox, we actually have to get him in spots where he's shooting off ball more. When you start in summer league, he has to use a little bit of shooting balls off the dribble. You know, I like him dropping to the basket. Yes, you also have to see how that translates when you play against the big boys. And he actually drove a lot last year. I don't know what his percentage was with regards to, you know, all his scoring, but that's where he developed that little ugly, sharp floater. You know what I mean? I think that we have to get more sets that got over like was in Kentucky, you know, come around curls and screens of that nature where you get that open shot. We've seen that he can make those shots. He actually can make a shot. His percentage with, I forget what, game.com, whatever, but with like a hand in his face at a certain point, he actually shot, I think, like 40%. It was like some stupid number. So he can shoot over guys to get him more open shots. And I think that if you get him more open shots in space, he's not going to post up anybody. He just doesn't have that body. He doesn't have that yet, I guess. That's not his bread and butter. You got to get him in open space to shoot. You know what I mean? You can be tall as you want. You know, if you don't have the footwork and you don't have the balance, you're just not going to post up anyone successfully. It doesn't matter how tall you are. You know what I mean? So get open spots. You can use the strength, you know, to drive on guys and stuff like that, but nothing else. More aggressiveness on the defensive end, going out for the rebounds, be more aware on defense, not being a deer in the headlights. Be aware of what's happening around you so you can make the proper moves. I think last year he was always stuck. So for me, again, I think as a team, you know, 13 points is fine. I think his 3-point percentage probably goes up 36%, which is, I think, is a big jump from 34. As crazy as it sounds, 36%. And 40% from field goal shooting. That's optimistic. That's him driving to the basket, learn how to maneuver around the basket. This year he's using his strength in the summer league. If you translate that to the NBA, you know, you can see a lot more efficient shooting, a lot more free throw shooting from Knox, make him a better player.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'd love for him to bring it up to 36%. Mo?
Yeah. So when it comes to Kevin Knox, my thing with him is that he's just so soft. Like I don't know. Like his dad was a football player, but like he's just not. I feel like he's he works hard, but like when it comes to like getting on the court with all of these men, like he's not mentally ready. And it's kind of like in the ilk of like Frank Ntilikina, where like if he was at an Orlando or a Phoenix, like he would just have a lot more room to grow. But this year, he's going to be in practice with guys like Marcus Morris, and it's just going to be rough. Like I just think
But that might help toughen
he's
him up.
gonna have a lot of trouble. I think he's just gonna. It's gonna be a tough year. And like I want him to succeed, but I also like see him as a potential trade piece. So like you know, in a trade you need like a big contract, a young piece or two, and he's going to be one of those young pieces. And I really think I think Knox, like, you know, he's going to have a good career, but I don't think it's going to be in New York either. And like, yeah, I'd rather have Marcus Morris and rock with like, you know, Iggy coming off the bench, because like Knox is like a starter type of guy, but I don't think we have enough. We don't have the patience to be able to like sustain him in his like early years.
I don't know, but see, I disagree, because I think by adding the veterans that we've added, it gives him a little more room to make mistakes off the bench without having the pressure on him to be one of the guys that, you know, has to play well in order for the team to succeed. So I think it gives him a little bit more room to grow as a player. You know what I mean? Just because he doesn't have those, he's not going to have the same responsibilities as some of the elder statesmen on the team. You know what I mean? So I think this actually works. This might actually work in his favor.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is only 20, but at the same time, like I think he's just like at this, like I don't think we're gonna, like, we have expectations, like the media has expectations. Like when it comes to New York, it's just a whole different beast. And like we're not gonna give him the chance to grow, because like, all right, say this year he takes a step back, which happens a lot of times for sophomores. Mm-hmm. What is going to be the story? What is going to be the media, like, you know, narrative? And like, what's going to happen the next year? Who are we going to get to replace him? That's what I'm afraid of. Like, okay. I know he's going to be a good player because he's always been projected to be a great player, and I like the tools that he has. But at the same time, like, I mean, we'll see. Like, I'm not too high on him. So like maybe 10 points a game. And maybe some big games, but at the same time, I'm not going to be relying on him to like be carrying us anywhere. So,
all right. And see, I feel like, I think you're right that a lot of players have that sophomore slump. I feel like Kevin Knox is in a situation where he may avert that sophomore slump, because now, like a lot of times when a player has a sophomore slump, it's because he was a starter his rookie year. Now he's a starter in his second year, and people can really figure him out because they can scout him. They can, do all of these things. But now if he's, which I think is going to happen this year, if he's coming off the bench and he's kind of, teams now have to game plan for these other people that's on the floor, maybe getting a few more minutes, he can almost sneak in like he's a rookie again. You know what I'm saying? And have a jump. We'll see. We'll see how that's going to go. I'm going to get around to the next guy on the list. When I come to you, if you want to talk about Kevin Knox, go ahead. All right. But Marcus Morris. Now, this Marcus Morris situation is definitely interesting. We talked about Reggie Bullock earlier in the stream, and how Reggie Bullock, his injury allowed the Knicks to be able to get Marcus Morris. Now the Knicks have Marcus Morris, right? And Marcus Morris is a guy, who's, for his career, let me get that to you. for his career, he's averaged 11 points, 4 rebounds a game. Last season with the Celtics, he was at 13.9 points, 6.1 rebounds per game. All right, he shoots 37% from three, 44% from the field, 44.7% from the field. Marcus Morris, bring this back over for just a second. When you look at Marcus Morris, he's 6'9", 235 pounds. He can play the 3. He can play the 4. A lot of people have Marcus Morris pegged as the starting 3, I think that could be correct. He might be the starting 3. I think Marcus Morris, I feel like he's a placeholder, though. I don't see Marcus Morris being here after this season. Is he going to be trade bait at the trade deadline? Maybe. He's making $15 million this season, and he'll be a free agent in 2020. That makes him prime to be tradable at the trade deadline. It's prime for him to be tradable. A nice, sizable contract, $15 million. That can eat up some salary if by chance you're trading for someone that makes $27 million a year. I'm just saying by chance, ladies and gentlemen, if this happens, that's $15 million right there that you can, boom, that can start to eat up some of that salary. And he's a good player that can produce on the team. So it's interesting. I think Marcus Morris is going to get his numbers. I predict he's still going to be around, I'm going to say, between 12 and 14 points a game, 5 and 6 rebounds a game. So I think he's going to get his numbers, but I don't think he's going to be here beyond this season. That's just my opinion. I think after this season, either the Knicks trade him at the deadline or in the offseason, he's going to, he's going to get some money. He's trying to get some money. What I'm saying? It's going to be a weak free agency in 2020. He'd be in prime position to get some money. But that's what I'm giving him, probably his average. Maybe a little bit less because, I think the ball is going to be spread around a lot. I think Isaiah said it good the other day when he said, his bold prediction was that no one's going to average over 18 points a game or something like that. I think Julius Randle might average over 18 points a game, but I understood what he was getting at. And because of that, Marcus Morris, maybe he's a little bit, and some of these other guys, maybe they're a little bit less than what they've averaged in the past. Go ahead, Viv. I know you want to say something about Knox.
Oh, yeah, I'll go back to Knox. Let me just finish up with Morris real quick, right? I think Morris will be gone by trade deadline. I think we'll find a team for him, and he'll go help somebody. But he'll do everything that you had, or he did before in Boston and to an extent Detroit. He'll hit threes. He'll play well. I think, however, the losing will probably get to him. I'm not sure that he wasn't. I mean, he's been on winning situations recently, so it could be wrong completely. But I think we'll probably find a way to get rid of him come trade deadline. And for Knox, I think Knox will probably he'll hit a sophomore slump. I just don't know where it's going to hit him. I'm not sure if it's going to hit him when it's, attacking the paint or if it's just a complete shooting rut. The odds are probably he's going to have a huge shooting rut. That's going to probably be a case of just like fatigue legs more than anything. And then it's going to obviously affect his driving, but he'll be okay. He'll show better improvement in both areas. That I could see at 36 being realistic, but it might be rough at some stretches. But he'll get there from 3, and he'll probably get to the line a little bit more. But yeah.
I could see that. He went through a slump last year. I could see that. And a lot of that with Kevin Knox is probably mental, I think. You know what I'm saying? Just learning how to be a pro, young guy. And like Mo was saying, talking about him being not being as aggressive, it's the same thing. just with him being young, I think in a few years you'll see that aggression out of him.
Yeah, I feel like the word aggressive is just being overplayed a little bit. We kind of just like put it as like a big blanket statement for, we're trying to, we kind of just like play, you got to be aggressive. This guy's aggressive, but we're not really setting a fair and objective barometer for what we mean when we say aggressive, right? So
agree.
It's different for each player, right? Like, so like a guy like Knox, it's gonna be different aggressive than say someone like a DSJ or something like that, right? So, we tend to like let that word aggressive we just say it very easily. So
yeah, like you call something classic all the time, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
right? Like that's a great example.
Yeah. All right, let me see who else we got here. Nate. Then I'm gonna come to Rob. Hold up, Nate. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I disagree with y'all on Marcus Morris. I think you need a guy like Marcus Morris on a team if you want to, win or contend for a championship. And the fact is that he passed on the Spurs to come to the Knicks. Now I get it was the money part of it too, but I mean, we have a young core, man. He easily should have just stayed with the Spurs. I think he likes the idea of being with a lot of young cats and making them better. And I think he could see a fit here. I mean, I like him. I like him as a player. I liked him when he came out of Kansas, and we need a guy like him that's rugged, tough, can score. His defense has gotten a little bad, so he's got to pick up the defense better. But I think you need a guy like this on the team, especially with a bunch of young players. I mean, you always say vets are a good idea to have with a lot of young players. I could see the Knicks, if he does really well this year, let's say he puts his average, like you said, 13 or something points, I could see the Knicks giving him a 2 or 3 year deal. They were going to give DJ that kind of deal before he went to the Nets.
Yeah,
so
well,
I could definitely see it happening.
but that deal was with him, with Kevin Durant and everything coming. I think with Morris, see, I don't think that the Knicks aren't going to me, they're not going to do anything too crazy beyond 2021 because they have themselves set up for 2021. So giving Marcus Morris a contract, the kind of contract that I think he's going to want, I don't think, now if he's, if it's something, if it's a nice contract, team-friendly contract but I think in 2020, I'm telling you, the reason why Marcus Morris said, yeah, I'll take that $15 million was not just because he's going to make more money than with the Spurs, but it's because he knew that in 2020, the free agent class, he's going to be one of the top players in that free agent class.
Yeah.
So people will overspend to get him.
And you could be very true on that. There's no doubt about that. But the Knicks have been really good about giving good deals to good players and not overspending. And I just think if the Knicks, let's just say hypothetically, the Knicks are on the cusp of making the playoffs. And again, Marcus Morris is the reason why. I don't see how you can't just look at an offer and see. Now, if he's asking for the moon, then obviously no. Kick him to the curb and, go with Knox. But I'm just saying, I mean, I think teams need guys like him on you need a guy like him on there. He's a glue guy. He's a hard-nosed guy.
I agree. I agree. I he's a very good guy to have on the team. Rob?
Hello?
Yeah, man. Go ahead, man. What do you think? Marcus Morris.
Okay.
And if you want to, comment on Kevin Knox or anyone that you didn't.
Yeah, I want to talk about run through Knox right quick. I ain't gonna be long. Mo want to run everybody out of New York because of the media. I say, well, Frank got to go, then Knox got to go, and it's all because of the media. Hey, look, I think that with Knox is, I think Knox is what I see in Knox's game right now is that his handle is a little bit more tighter. He's a little bit, in his rookie year, he was just east-west. Now he added a little deception with the dribble. You know, he's getting to certain spots on the floor that he wasn't getting to last year. So with that in mind, I'm thinking that he's gonna pretty much, the point might stay the same, might go up one, but I think his efficiency is gonna be better. You know, I think he'll probably get up to about 44% from the field, and the three-pointers around 36. And that's, I think, is a big jump for him. He's getting better production with less shooting, because I don't really think that it's going to be a whole bunch of shots all over the place for him to really explore in scoring. And as far as Morrison is concerned, I'm with you. I think that he's a placeholder. I think he knows he's a placeholder. And I also think that he knows that he might be someplace else come the deadline, or pretty much, you know, as far as yes, pretty much the deadline, or as far as like, it might be in January, like really before the deadline, because you have Taj Gibson to really give what he's given in all areas with the young people on the team. So either one of them, I don't think that either one of them will be on the team I think one of them will be on the team come the end of the year. Okay. And that Morris is going to bring what he always brings. He's going to bring grittiness, a toughness. He's going to be able to hit the three, and he's going to intimidate. Pretty much that's his game. And as far as like when his free agency come up, I don't think it's going to be a real big bag of money waiting for him, you know, but it's going to be some money out there. So that's why I think that he came to the Knicks. He want to, if he can bond with these players, he's probably thinking maybe New York could take a chance on. Because if it was like that, I'm feeling as though Boston would have kept him. So, you know, he'll be all right going down the line.
Things went so crazy in Boston last year. You know, maybe, you know, I mean, listen, Al Horford left, right? Marcus Morris left. Things went crazy in Boston last year. It might have been so rotten he just wanted to get up out of there.
Well, if the problem was Kyrie, then Kyrie was leaving. So it may have been something else. That might be a point too, but it could have been something else though. But, you know, I don't see him as like, you know, a long-range Knick. I just don't see it. I just see him as like, he's a placeholder. I think Knox it's not going to take Knox long to get what he needs out of Morrison. I don't think it'll take a whole season. I think it's pretty much take about, you know, a couple months to add that to your arsenal, what he's offering, you know? And then after that, you know, him and Taj Gibson is pretty much the same player, but Gibson is a little better to me because I feel as though Gibson can do more or did more as a player in his earlier days. So, you know, you could get what you're going to get out of Morris and then bind him up in a trade or something and, you know, and let him rock.
All right.
You know, because, you know, pretty much.
All right. Well,
you know,
we're going to see how that one goes. I am going to go on to the next guy. And the next guy, ladies and gentlemen, is our boy, Frank Ntilikina. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people that have a lot of things to say about Frank Ntilikina. Boy, what do I think is going to happen with Frank Ntilikina this season? I don't know. I really don't. I really like Frank Ntilikina. You all know that. I'm a big fan of Frank Ntilikina. I want Frank Ntilikina to prove himself. You know, I think that Frank Ntilikina, most people think Frank Ntilikina is not going to play much. He's going to have some trouble breaking the lineup. And that could be the case. I think his defense may insert him in the lineup. Then he's going to have to keep it? And, can he keep it? Listen, last year nobody thought Emmanuel Mudiay was going to play. And he played a lot. He started. He became the starting point guard. So I'm going to do this with Frank Ntilikina. If he plays, if Frank Ntilikina can get 20 minutes a game, I'll give him, I think his shooting percentage will raise this year. If he's getting 20 minutes a game, I think he'll shoot better. He's shooting 33%. I'll give him somewhere around 40%. 32% from 29, whatever it is, percent from three. I think that'll be better. Maybe he gets up to 33% or something like that. We can't expect that he's going to get up to be 48% from the field and 40% from three or something like that. You can't expect that from him. I'm giving Frank Ntilikina about 8 points. If he's getting 20 minutes a game, I'm giving him 8 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists per game. That's what I'm giving Frank. If he can get up to, if he can earn those 20 minutes a game. If he can earn 20 minutes a game, that's what I'm giving him. I'll be satisfied with that. I'm not even going to front. I'll be satisfied with it. And as long as he's playing decent defense. You know what I mean? You got to have that call. You got to have a calling card somewhere. And if that's his calling card, that's what he's got to build it on right now. So that's what I'm predicting for Frank. If he can get 20 minutes a game. Okay, get that. If he gets 20 minutes a game, that's what I'm predicting. If he gets 20 minutes a game, 8 points, what was I on? 4 rebounds, 5 assists a game. That's what I was predicting for Frank. We'll see how that goes. Let's get to some of my guys in the chat because I know guys want to jump in on this. Viv?
Yeah, I think you summed it up actually pretty well. I mean, it's crazy to think about in the summer that, Frank Ntilikina is the most polarizing role player,
right?
We've probably ever seen. And the reason I say this is because, we've been polarized as fans over, guys like that we think are stars or whatnot. But at no point, even I'm as big of a Frank fan as as many people are, but at no point did I ever think, Frank's going to be like a number one player or star or anything. My main thing is, all right, can he last many years in this league? So we'll find out. But yeah, I think, not digressing further, it's really going to depend on, how he gets minutes. And I think it actually won't be as lopsided as people think, right? So I think the competition will actually be quite close. I think they'll all fight it out. They'll all have their moments. It'll just end up being that, whoever's healthy is going to play, I think. And I think, if all three are healthy, then, whoever's the best one. Maybe it's DSJ, maybe it's Payton, maybe it's, probably it's both of them over Frank, and that's just what it is. But I don't think it's going to be like a lopsided difference between, all those players. And I think, it'll be a tough battle. And Frank will play if he shoots. I think I think he'll defend. It's, can he stay on the floor shooting?
Right.
And the real key is, has he developed enough leg strength to be a good enough shooter? And I think the biggest thing that he has to deal with now is that, I now have questions because he's probably too tall to, guard most ones in the league. So, he's 6'7", and he's probably, I'd advise Fizz to, use him in different positions because I don't know if he can actually guard all the ones anymore. I think it'll be tough.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting season for Frank. This right here, at least for the Knicks, for his New York Knicks career, this is his this is the year he's got to prove himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he has no choice. I don't think they're probably not gonna opt into the 4th year. I think he might just be too expensive. It's just a real question. If they do, I'll be surprised. And the only reason they do it, in my opinion, is that they want to trade him later on. They'd at least give a reason for a team to trade him, right? But I mean, it's just a lot of talk for someone. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy, you know. Someone that's, you know, might just be like a regular role player. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a role player. I mean, people need to know their roles, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of players that flame out in 5 years because they think they're like the greatest player alive, and all of a sudden they're, you know, once reality hit, that they can't make it in the league, right? I mean, we see it now, right? There are people that have such as the Eagles that they can't even fathom the idea of being just a regular player. But I guess Frank just as it is that, you know, I'm doing my role. I'm doing it. But I mean, it's better doing that than trying to be like Dennis Smith Jr. and just missing dunks all the time, or you know, looking ugly, trying to emulate him, right? So, you know, it's just baffling me, this entire, like, that's why one of the reasons I didn't really watch much of FIBA. I didn't really see much of the highlights because I don't really know what to make of it.
Yeah. We'll see. Nate?
You know, Frank's my boy. So my stat line's going to be, and I'm sticking with it, man. I'm going to stick with it all season until it doesn't happen or he's not on the team anymore. But I say 12, 5, and 5. Now I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to make a prediction that Elfrid Payton's going to beat out DSJ for the starting point guard position because of his defense and his playmaking ability. And DSJ is not going to be happy with it, so he's going to demand a trade. And the Knicks are going to get him out of here. And then if Frank is shooting at the rate I think he's going to shoot at, he's going to beat out Elfrid Payton at some point.
Hey, you know what? If that happens, I'm with it.
I am too. I love Frank, man. I mean, because you got to think about it from this standpoint that I don't know the stats. I was looking at Elfrid Payton before you got me on, but I think who's a better 3-point shooter right now, Frank or Elfrid Payton?
Elfrid Payton. They're both
Elfrid Payton. By a lot or by a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, man. I think Frank's shots looks better. I think it's going to be more improved. And like I said, man, if he's hitting buckets, it's going to be hard not to put him on the court.
Well, actually, no, not by a lot. I'm sorry. His 3-point.
Yeah, they're both terrible.
Elfrid Payton last year was 31.4. Frank was like 29%.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They're both bad, but I think Frank has the potential to be a better 3-point shooter than Payton does, in my opinion. So if he's shooting threes at a high clip and his shot is better, I can see a point where he could outsee Payton for the starting point guard.
Well, Frank was 28.7% from three.
I thought he was
33.7% from the field. Now, Elfrid Payton, on the other hand,
it was like 43.
Was 43.4% from the field and 31.4% from three. So, yeah, that's.
Well, I'm just saying, man. If Frank improves that jump shot and becomes more consistent, I could see him outseating Payton. I really can.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna get to the next one, and if you want to add something on Frank when I come to you, the next one is Elfrid Payton. We're gonna talk Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton. Honestly, I feel like Elfrid Payton was brought here to be Frank. Really, you know what I mean? He's that same type of point guard that Frank is. You know, and that's what I think Elfrid Payton was brought here to do. Elfrid Payton last year was 10.6 points, 5.2 rebounds, 7.6 assists per game. You know, the guy had 5 straight triple-doubles at one point last year or something like that. Doesn't shoot that well from three, but he can get to the basket. He knows how to distribute the basketball, obviously. You know, the guy is 6'4", 185 pounds, been in the league for 5 years, so he's still got time to grow in the league, and he's trying to establish himself as a legitimate starting point guard in the league. It's one of the reasons why he wanted to come to the Knicks. He agreed to come to the Knicks. You know, he's trying to establish himself. I feel like this is tough for me between Elfrid Payton and Dennis Smith Jr. there's going to be a point guard battle between those three players, Frank Ntilikina, Elfrid Payton, Dennis Smith Jr. Whichever way it goes, I'm not going to say who's going to be the starter right now. I believe that Elfrid Payton is going to be somewhere between 25 and 30 minutes a game. And with those amount of minutes, I'm giving him still 10 points, 7 to 8 assists a game. Same thing. I think it's going to improve his three-point shooting this year. I think he'll be up to about 30, maybe he's 33, 34, 35%, shooting 45, 46% from the field. That's my prediction for Elfrid Payton. So I think Elfrid Payton will be, still 10, 11 points, 7, 8 assists per game, which is excellent. I think that's excellent. I think it's great. And that's whether he's starting or coming off the bench. I think, but he's gonna get significant playing time. All right. See what you guys think about Elfrid Payton. All right. I'm gonna come back around to you, Nate. I'm gonna go to Mo, then I'll come back around to you. Go ahead, Mo. Elfrid Payton, real quick. Let's make it quick because it's getting late.
Yeah, it is late. So Elfrid, I'm really excited about. He's gonna play great defense. If he gets 7 assists off the bench, I love it. But Dennis Smith is my point guard. Like I think we just need that flash, and we need that just that scoring mentality. And hopefully his jump shot's going to be that good. So Elfrid Payton's going to be a good guy on off the bench, hopefully, and a good defender. And he's there he's just taking Frank Ntilikina's spot. Once he came to the team, that was it. To me, in terms of Frank. So
yeah, I agree. I think I feel like he's there to be what they thought Frank would be. You know what I mean? Nate, real quick, Nate.
Yeah, on Elfrid Payton, I mean, he's got the potential, like I said, to be the starting point guard. The thing with him is that he's on a 1-year deal too, right? Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was a
1-and-1.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the guy's looking to get paid. He's looking to make money. So my thing is that if he has a good year this year, he's going to demand more money. And I don't know if the Knicks are going to be that compelled, knowing that if they aren't good.
Well, the thing is, if he has a good year this year, they can just opt to, they can opt to take his contract. They have the option. The Knicks have the option for next year, not Elfrid Payton. So if he has a good year, they can just say, "Yep, we'll keep your contract."
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this guy is looking to get paid, man. Which nothing wrong with that. So I think he's going to last for a lot of money. So I mean, this could be like a very 2-year trial, and then we're back to square one. So we'll see. Okay,
Rob. Then I'm gonna come to you, Viv. Go ahead, Rob, real quick.
Okay, I think that I think they put Payton on the team. It's a favor to Frank, but Frank don't know it yet. They showing Frank that you can play in this league the way that you play if you get confidence. This is your mirror, and you're better than him, but you got to believe it yourself.
Okay.
Because the game is about the same. So they can get a cheaper Frank by just showing Frank this is what you can be, and you can be better than this, that this game can translate to the NBA. So take advantage of it.
All right.
So take advantage of it. Learn from him because it's pretty much your game. Yeah. And all you have to do is get a shot.
Right. It's pretty much the same game. Let me get to Viv. Viv?
Yeah, I'm not really sold on Payton. For as much as we talk about, he has his reputation as a defensive guy, but he really never was a good defender in the NBA so far. Always gamble on defense, and the team always played better without him, which is kind of weird. If the splits kind of state that he wasn't really that. The team played a little bit better without him on the floor. I don't know. I mean, health was a problem last 2 years with Payton. We'll see if he's better this year health wise, but yeah, I don't really see it because he's not really a good shooter. He's from either really the free throw line or 3, and his shooting numbers have pretty much dropped since like early Orlando. I mean, I think the Orlando days, actually, to be quite honest. Like, he was actually shooting okay in Orlando, and then all of a sudden, like, dipped like crazy in New Orleans. That's like near rookie sophomore level. But again, it's weird. All the point guards have the same problem, that they're not consistent shooters. And I think DSJ could probably easily separate himself from Payton. Now the problem is, will Scott Perry or will Payton allow his ego to actually sit on the bench for a long time? I don't know. And I don't think Perry would have the ego to admit that he made a mistake bringing Payton back, like he did bring Hazonia back. So
let me see. Elfrid Payton, from three, he's always been terrible. He shot 26% his rookie year, 32% his sophomore year, 27% his third year in the league, 32% his. I'm sorry, 30. He actually went up to 37% when he was in Orlando in his fourth year in the league. He was shooting 52% from the field, so he was he was shooting 52% from the field, 37% from three. He was averaging 13 points and 6 assists a game. And then he went to Phoenix. He went down to 20% from three, brought it back up in New Orleans to 31%. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Definitely a Scott Perry guy. And the next guy on the list, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to be looking at is Bobby Portis. All right. Look, I think Bobby Portis, we got 4 more guys to go, so we're looking good. I think that Bobby Portis, let me bring this back up. Bobby Portis is 6'11", 250 pounds, been a pro for 4 years. He's another one of those guys who, every year in the league, not another one of those guys, but he's another guy that every year in the league, he's gotten better, right? His numbers have went up every year in the league. He's a fiery guy. He can score the basketball. He's a guy that, he can get you some points. Last season, he was 14 points, 8 rebounds a game. He shot 39% from three, 44% from the field. And I think Bobby Portis is going to have those same type of numbers this year. He'll play between that 4 and the 5 spot. Coming off the bench most likely. I think that you may even see sometimes, Mitch and Bobby Portis on the floor at the same time, because Bobby Portis can play the 4, Mitch will play the 5, spread the floor out so that Mitch can catch oops to the basket. It's not out the question. Bobby Portis, he's been on the rise. In his rookie year, he was 7 points a game. Second year, he was 7 points a game. Third year is 13.2. Last season, he was 14.2 points per game. He split time between Chicago and Washington. I think he's going to continue to, if the Knicks are good, Bobby Portis may be a 6th man of the year candidate. So my prediction is that he's still going to be around 14 points, 8 rebounds a game. That's what I think, from Bobby Portis. All right, so let's see what our guys thinking. Viv, since you're right here, Bobby Portis, man.
14 and 8 is what he averaged last year, actually. So, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's possible. I'd like to see if he can replicate, 38% from three, and give him 14 and 8. I'll take it. Is it the most efficient 14 and 8? No, but I'll take it. Obviously, I think the biggest key is can he actually be decent enough on defense? That I think actually hurt him most of his career.
Right.
So that'll be the biggest test for Portis to see whether he gets a second payday in the NBA, or not. Yeah, second payday really in the NBA.
Right. Yeah. All right, Nate. Hold up, Nate. Go ahead, Nate. Real quick.
Yeah, Bobby Portis, man. I mean, I agree with Viv. I mean, he's got to play better defense. Honestly, I think he's gonna have a hard time cracking the lineup if he can't play defense. I mean, because we already have a plethora of scorers on this team, and I get Bobby Portis average 14 points, but man, I mean, where does he fit? I mean, you know, he's back. I mean, he's behind Taj. I mean, maybe you could put him at the 4 behind Randle. I don't know, man. I mean, his defense is gonna have to really pick up and get better.
Well,
and rebounding too.
I can clearly see where he fits, right? Because, you know, if he can play the 5 because he's 6'11". He may not block shots. He's not a shot blocker, but he can play some backup 5. He can also play the 4. So if you have Taj Gibson and Bobby Portis on the floor at the same time, Taj Gibson can guard centers.
Yeah.
Right, and then you can have Bobby Portis play the 4, or they can, whichever way it happens to work out on that defensive possession, you know, that's who they guard. You know, so between Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Taj Gibson, and Bobby Portis, you know, you got your starters and your backups.
Yeah,
and that's why I see him fit.
Yeah, I mean, and I can see that too. I think with Fizdale, again, it's that question: are you offensive or defensive minded? You know, because I think Portis could definitely make his hay on defense if he becomes a better defender. But also too, I think Portis could be a good trade bait for, again, a team that's on the cusp of making the playoffs or needs another big guy that can shoot. I mean, we all know how valuable that is in the NBA. So. I mean, who knows?
Well, yeah, all of these guys are going to be, because of their contract situations, you know, could be flaunted out there for trade.
But that could stick with the Knicks. I mean, he's young. He averages good points, you know, but he's got to get better defensively. Yeah. He's too tall to be a bad defender and not a good rebounder either. He's got to get those two things.
He averaged 8 rebounds a game last year.
Oh, he did. Okay, my bad. Sorry. My bad.
I don't know what Nate. Well, Nate must be tired. I don't know. Rob, you there, Rob?
I'm here.
What do you think about Bobby Portis,
Bobby Portis, a good stretch. I think he might, you know, he might be in the running for the 6th Man of the Year award. Tighten up on his defense a little bit. He might get about 15 a game, shoot about 39% for 3.
Yeah, basically about what he did, you know, about what he did last year, probably. That and that's what I think.
Yeah,
that's what I think. So now we're gonna go on and stay there, Rob, because I'm gonna come right back to you. Next we got Julius Randle, and here's the guy, right? Julius Randle is the guy that a lot of Knicks fans are looking at to say, hey, you can be our star player. This is your chance to be the star. This is your chance to be the man. And I'm pretty sure Julius Randle is ready to step into that role, wants to step into that role. I'm sure you've seen the video that Julius Randle put out to say, I'm ready. And I feel like it was in response to the video that I put out with Tony Crow and Guillermo, you know, where we asked the question, can Julius Randle lead? You know what I'm saying? It probably wasn't. I'm just saying it seems like it was in response because we asked, is he ready? And he says, yes, I'm ready. I promise you, New York, I am ready. It sounds like Julius Randle wants to be that guy. You know what I mean? Sounds like he wants to be, take that next step. T. Williams, you say a star who plays no defense. Well, let's say this, though. Whoever his coach was in L.A., what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now. But he told Julius Randle, you could be the best defender on the floor. You just have to do it. He has the ability. Let's see if he dedicates himself to being that. Because now, he always had a crutch. There was LeBron, you know, first LeBron wasn't there, then LeBron was there, then Anthony Davis in New Orleans. Now he has to be the one, and he has his chance. Let's see if he steps up. Look, I think that Julius Randle is going to step up this year. It seems like he wants it. It seems like he has his head here. You know what I'm saying? He not finally, but the past few years, he's gotten himself in shape. And when you get in shape, it builds over time. Luke Walton. Yes, thank you, Luke Walton. It builds over time. You know what I'm saying? Being in shape builds over time. You know, when you get some of these players who they're in shape for the season, and then in the summer they get out of shape, then they try to get back in shape, then they get out of shape. You know, then they get back in shape. You either go down a level or you stay at a level. But when you get in shape and you're in shape in the season, maybe you take a couple weeks off so you can heal up, and then you get right back at it and you're in shape and you're getting stronger. Then the season comes, you're playing. Then you get right back at it when the season is over, and you get stronger some more, and you get faster and quicker, and you're keeping up, you know, all of your instincts. You're keeping them sharp. You know, it builds. And so being in shape builds. You know, being in condition, having that endurance builds. And the best way to play defense, why a lot of guys don't play defense, is because they're not in good shape. When you're in really good shape, you can play defense. I think Julius Randle is going to take another step. I'm giving him about 23 to 24 points a game. 8 rebounds. That's where I'm at with him. And I think he's still going to shoot. Because he's going to get more shots, I'm going to take his field goal percentage down just a little bit. Because he's going to, you know, most likely, most players, you know, the more shots you take, the more chances you have to miss. Obviously, the more chances you have to make, but a lot of times it works the opposite way, right? Last season, he shot 52.4% from the field. He shot 15 shots a game. I think this year he's going to be up to about 19 to 20 shots per game. You know, so I'm going to take him down to about 48% from the field. I'm hoping that he increases his three-point percentage. He shot 34.4% last season. He shot more threes than he's ever shot before. I think he's going to increase it again. I think he'll be at about 36%. So I'm giving him about 24 points a game because he's going to have more shot attempts. He's going to be the guy. You know, 24 and 8. I'll be loving that. That's where I'm putting Julius Randle, and I think he takes the next step. If he makes the All-Star team, that's going to depend on, you know, the Knicks, I think. I think that depends on the Knicks. Julius Randle, ladies and gentlemen, he is 6'9", 250 pounds, been a pro for 5 years. And I can't wait to the season, and you see him right up here at the top of the screen working out, man. I can't wait till we do this season preview so we can really get into the weeds on Julius Randle. All right, let's quickly get to you guys and see what you got to say about Julius Randle. Julius Randle, Rob.
25 and 12.
Ooh, 25 and 12.
25 and 12. That's
Wow.
going to be our go-to guy. That's the way they building it up. He going to touch that ball. If Hardaway got 23 taking bad shots last year, I think he can get 25 and 12 easy.
Wow.
And I'm gonna let the with 50% shooting from the field, and I think his defense is gonna be a little bit better. He's probably gonna get us about 3-4 assists, maybe even 5. And I think his defense will be a little bit better. It's probably gonna be better because it's probably gonna be a team-oriented defense. He just need to cover his spots, and that's going to make him better. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at him. That's what I'm looking at.
Okay. All right. Viv? Julius Randle.
I don't know stat-wise. He'll be better, though. He'll be better. And I hope Fizz can get to him defensively, and it's just an issue of just, you know, drills more than, you know, effort and whatnot. If they can implement proper defensive techniques and drills, then the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Okay. And I think it is. I think it is more effort and mentality. than the ability to play defense.
I thought of that, and then I looked at guys like Amari Stoudemire, who probably had, he just didn't care, I guess. So I guess when you mentioned like guys like, that are like more athletic, maybe they were going to play better defense. Yeah. And I looked at Amari, and I guess that's probably not the best.
But I feel like with Amari, if you ever dig into his past as far as coming up as a high school basketball player and how he bounced around from school to school to school, I think it was bad coaching from the time he was young. And he just never learned some of those defensive principles.
I hear you. He was a late. He started playing basketball pretty late, actually.
Yeah,
he was like 14 or 15, I think.
Yeah, so I think it's some of that. It was some of that with Amari. I mean, Amari's late rotations used to kill me so bad. I used to be like, oh my gosh, how can you not see where you need to rotate? And then all of a sudden at the last minute, here comes Amari with his hands up. Like he's trying to do something. It used to kill me. Yeah. I would be so frustrated on those late rotations. So frustrated. Oh, man. I don't even want to think about it. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, man. Julius Randle, I was so excited when we signed him because I was thinking of this young core with Barrett, Knox, Randle, Mitch. I'm like, man, we got a core to run and go for a future and many years down the line. Listen, this guy is a nightmare matchup for bigs. Mm-hmm. They don't want to see this guy. Ask KP. You watch the KP video of him against KP. He tore up KP. Like, this guy is like a bowling ball on steroids. Like, oh my God. Like, he's just so finesse. He's so crafty inside. He doesn't care. He's only 6'8" or 6'9". He don't care. I mean, he plays like he's 7 foot. I mean, the guy is just crafty as hell. I would give him 25 and 10. He's got to pick up his passing. I think he could be a good passer out of double teams because he will start getting double teams once they start seeing what he can do for this offense. I'm going to give him a block because I think his defense will be more improved. But, I mean, this guy, if the Knicks make the playoffs, this guy should be an MVP talk.
Wow. Okay. You said MVP talk, huh? Okay.
Yeah, because you think about where the Knicks are last year, and if this guy takes them to the playoffs averaging 25 and 12, how the hell is he not in MVP talk? I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean, 25 and 12, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're gonna see how that works out for us. Mo?
He's never been an all-star before, so I don't think we can go jump to MVP talk. But I agree that he has the potential to be like 25. Okay, let's notch it down to like 23, because like he's working on his 3-point shot. Last year he was one of the leading guys in N1s, like top 5. So like he's gonna get buckets. Like nobody could guard him at his position. He dribbles, like he could get the board and just go. And he's working on that shot. So I would say he's a lock all-star. Like if everything goes right, he's a lock all-star. And yeah, let's go Knicks.
Okay. All right. I think I got everybody on Julius Randle. I think this is going to be a career year for Julius Randle. I really do. I know Nate said, I've seen some people in the chat say it was a contract year and da-da-da-da-da. You know what? I think Julius Randle wants to take it to the next level. Yeah, I'm thinking that there might be some good things from coming this season from Julius Randle. Next up is Mitch Robinson. And I know there's controversy between me and Mitch Robinson. People think I have an agenda against Mitch Robinson. I do not. I do not have an agenda against Mitchell Robinson at all. So barring whether or not he starts, I think Mitch is going to get 25 to 30 minutes per game. I think Mitch is going to be somewhere around, because last year he didn't get consistent minutes. You know, he started off the season, he wasn't playing, and then he was playing. And, you know, I think this year he's going to be more accustomed to the NBA. Obviously, though, there's going to be, you know, people are going to be more accustomed to Mitch as well and to what Mitch does on the floor. Right now, Mitch's bread and butter on the offensive side of the floor is, you know, catching a oop to the basket, getting a rebound and the putbacks and putback dunks. You know, that's his, you know, that's what Mitchell Robinson does right now. You know what I mean? Having a point guard like Elfrid Payton, having someone like RJ Barrett that, you know, can help find and get Mitch the ball in some areas where he can score some easy buckets. I think Mitchell Robinson this season can be about 12 to 13 points a game. I don't think he's going to average double-digit rebounds this year. You know, sometimes I see he can still get pushed around down there, but I still think because of his length alone, he should be around 8 rebounds a game. If he's getting that 25 to 30 minutes, I'm hoping that he's somewhere 3 to 4 blocks per game. So I'm going to give Mitch Robinson 13 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks a game. You know what I mean? And hopefully he can stay on the floor and not get into foul trouble. But that's what I'm giving. And it's hard for Mitch not to get into foul trouble because he's not as strong yet. So when he tries to be a little more physical with some of the stronger players in the NBA, it might look like he's fouling them because he's trying to be, you know, he's trying to be a little more physical, but he's not as strong yet. But that's what I'm giving Mitch. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks per game. You know, and Mo, since you're right here, talk to you last. Mitch Robinson, what you giving him?
Big Meech. I think he's gonna be like 30 minutes a game, and he's gonna show that jump shot a little bit. So I'll go 14 and 12 rebounds, and he's gonna like be top 3 for defensive player of the year. That's my bold prediction. Top 3 for defensive player of the year, because he's just a revolutionary shot blocker. So yeah,
think he's gonna be top 3 for defensive player of the year, huh? Okay. I don't know if he's gonna be top 3 because defense is more than blocks. Defense is more than blocks.
He does show a lot of like ability to like defend guys out there. Like he knows how to defend guys out in the perimeter. He can go out and like slide, and he blocks the most threes. Yeah. So I don't see why he wouldn't be considered if he plays a full year.
Yeah, I think I'm giving Mitch another 2 years before he's in that defensive player of the year conversation. That's me. I'm giving him another 2 years. Here's why. He's got to learn how to stay on his feet. Throw a pump fake, Mitch is going in the air. That's going to get him in foul trouble.
Okay.
You know, so I think he's got to learn how to stay on his feet. You know, and that it just comes with time and practice and playing. And he's got to get stronger so that he can guard some of those centers, you know, banging down there. You know, there's going to be some guys, the Joel Embiids and those guys that he might end up guarding that's still going to be banging in the post. Now, he's got a lot of length, which helps him out. You know what I'm saying? It still, you know, gives guys some trouble shooting over top of him because he has a lot of length. But I still think, you know, there's going to be some times when you see him get overpowered. So I'm giving him, you know, another 2 years before he's in that defensive player of the year conversation, I think. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just what I think, because it's more than just blocks. Just like with a guard, it's more than steals. You know what I'm saying? And you still got to learn, you know, we'll see what kind of, first of all, your team needs to have a good defense in order to be defensive player of the year in that conversation. You got to have a good team defense as well. If the Knicks don't have a good team defense, it's going to be hard for him to be in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the Knicks got to have a good team defense in order for him to be in that defensive player of the year conversation. Will they have a good team defense this year? We'll see. We'll see. Let me get to Viv, then I'm going to come to Nate. Go ahead, Viv.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you, Sim, on this side. I think the biggest question is how will the league have adapted? How has the league adapted to Mitchell Robinson? Mm-hmm. And has Mitchell Robinson adapted to the league, right? So, we saw a lot of the highlights last year. We saw the blocks, off 3-point shots. We saw the alley-oops and all this other fun stuff, right? Now, how does he adapt when, teams, I guess, stop shooting threes, knowing that he's going to block shots, or, are they going to pump fake him all out? So how has he made those adjustments? And that's going to be the biggest question in my eyes. And that's why the whole, the double thing, I think that's also going to be something that comes later on. I think it's going to be he's going to get somewhere around maybe 25, probably 30 minutes at max, because he was going for 20, right? So I think I don't think the leap's going to be as monumental. And the real key is to see how will he have adjusted to, teams taking away basically his biggest strength, which is really, the alley-oop dunks and, the putback, or some of the putback dunks here and there. Right. And I know people mentioned, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is in a whole different league, a whole different ball league compared to Mitchell Robinson defensively. In order to get Defensive Player of the Year, you have to anchor a team's defense, and that comes in multiple facets. That includes, being the quarterback, they're being basically the, like the safety or the middle linebacker of the defensive unit. You got to rebound. There's a lot of components that's not just blocking shots, and people tend to forget that when they consider the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Mitchell Robinson last year played 20 minutes a game. That's what he averaged, 20 minutes a game. I seen someone in the chat say, can Mitch play 30 minutes a game? We'll see. We'll see if he's strong enough to play 30 minutes a game. But his minutes are definitely going to go up, at least 25 minutes a game, I think. And if he's getting at least 25 minutes a game, at least an extra 5 minutes a game. Last year, he was at 7 points and 6.4 rebounds per game in that 20 minutes. Like you're saying, Viv, teams are going to make adjustments. The Knicks are going to have to make adjustments too. Now, he's going to be more on their radar as far as game planning. But I still, like I said, I think he can be somewhere around 13 and 8 rebounds or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends on, how many rebounds, I guess, Randle gets. He might be taking that defense, the rebounding.
Yeah, that's true. That
allows Mitch to block shots and stuff. So we'll see.
Very true. All right, Nate. I seen Nate over there shaking his head and doing all this stuff. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, man. I just don't agree with the Gobert talk. I think that the Utah's defense is a lot better. That's why it makes Gobert look better on the defensive end. I don't think he's that great on the ball defender, in my opinion. I mean, he's a good shot blocker and he's tall as hell. So I think that definitely helps him a lot. I wouldn't say he's a great one-on-one defender. I mean, I've seen him get killed by Cat many a times in the playoffs. So I'm just saying, I don't know. That's just my opinion on Gobert. I'm not a big fan of him, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Mitch is gonna have a good year, though. I think he's gonna have a good year. Mitch is gonna have a good season. Whether or not he's starting, he's gonna have a good season. And I know, people want to beat me up because, I think, he should come off the bench.
30,
what I'm saying? But we're not even going to get into that conversation right now. We'll talk about that more when we do the season preview. Rob, what do you think? Just some numbers for Mitch Robinson.
12, 10, 2 blocks a game.
2 blocks?
And, 2.
He averaged 2 blocks last year. He averaged 2.4 last year.
Yeah, I think on the full season he'll round out to 2. For right now, I think that Mitch, I don't know, it's something about Mitch that like his persona this year is like, it's like to me that I like Mitch though, but it seems like to me a little bit that he's feeling himself a little bit too early. It's just like his personality is like coming out, like he's acting like he's arrived. A lot came to him. I hope it's not true. I hope he's still on the grind doing what he's supposed to do. But yeah, his confidence is like busting out, like really. And Yeah, but it's not built on like a 82 game or 60 games. It's built on like 35 games. So,
but you
if
know
he
what I
did
think?
it the whole season,
Yeah.
like
Well,
you know,
I mean,
like if he did it the whole season, I can see it. But
yeah,
it's like a sample size of Mitch, and if he doesn't have the success early, I don't know how it's going to affect him. Is he going to go back in his shell? You know,
But see, I'm gonna play. See, I think this. You know what you're saying with Mitch, as far as I think that it's just his natural personality coming out. I think that when he first got into the league, he was just a little shy. That's what I think. I think he was just a little shy to be in front of the camera and all that kind of stuff. Being a guy that comes from kind of where he came from. I think he was a little shy to be in front of the camera, and as he's gotten more comfortable, you're just seeing his personality come out. That's what I think. I think you're just seeing his personality.
I hope so.
That's what I think. Now, but what you're saying is something I was, kind of saying earlier about Fizdale just not automatically giving him that starting position. You know what I'm saying? You got to earn it. You got to go get it. Don't tell Bobby Portis you're coming off the bench behind Mitch Robinson. Even if you think that's what's going to happen, you don't tell nobody that. You let Mitch believe that, he's got to fight for that position. Don't just give it to him. So hopefully, nothing's gone to his head. I don't think it has. I think it's just his personality coming out. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just,
we'll see.
He's, it was hidden before, and I think he's just a fun-loving, he's a kid, you know what I mean? And I think his, I just think it's his personality coming out. The next person that we're going to get into, Dennis Smith Jr. And listen, Dennis Smith Jr. is an X factor to me. I feel like if Dennis Smith Jr., and I've said it before, you've heard it plenty of times, if Dennis Smith Jr. has a good season and steps up this year, the Knicks will have a really, really good chance of doing something. I don't want to say special, but doing something that they're not projected to do. If his jump shot has improved the way that we hope it's improved, if he's in shape the way that we hope that he's in shape, and he comes in and kills this season like he says he wants to, I mean, it'll be something. It will be something. Travis Fisher, you say he's the biggest question mark going into the season. I agree with you. He's probably the biggest question mark going into the season. Look, he averaged 15 last year. He averaged 14.9 points per game or something like that with the Knicks. Let me see. I'm going to get that number for you. So last season with the Knicks, Dennis Smith Jr. averaged 13.6 points per game, 2.9 rebounds, 4.8 assists per game. He shot 32% from three, 42.8% from the field. If Dennis Smith Jr. can improve his jump shot, he can bring that up to maybe 34, 35% from three, and he can get up to shooting 45% from the field, and Dennis Smith Jr. average 18 and 19 points per game. I feel like this kid is working hard. He's definitely going to be a guy that's getting 30 to 35 minutes, I think. He should be. I think he will. Last year, he was 28.6. I think he's going to get more this year. If the Knicks are trying to win, they'll probably, he should, wherever he's playing, Dennis Smith Jr. is 6'3", 195 pounds. See, that's the issue, because he's 6'3", and he's not a shooting guard. He doesn't have shooting guard size. It's point guard size. But can he be that point guard that can do both, score and lead the team? It's yet to be seen. We're going to find out. But Dennis Smith Jr. is the he's that X factor on the season. I think that Dennis Smith Jr. is going to step it up. I think Dennis Smith Jr. is probably working as hard as he's ever worked in his career. I think he's in a better space mentally than he was in Dallas. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I was very skeptical when he came from Dallas. I didn't know what kind of, did he have attitude problems or anything like that based on the stuff, that was going on in Dallas. I don't know. And maybe he still does. I don't know. We just got a small taste of him last season. Right? He played 21 games with the Knicks last season. Now he's got a full season in New York. I think he's embracing New York. And he knows that, he's in a prime position to be able to, really stake his claim as a star in his league if he can do something good with the Knicks. I think Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be about 18 points per game. 18 points. I'm going to say 5 or 6 assists. Last year he played 28 minutes. If he gets up to 33 minutes a game, then I'll take that up to 7 assists. 18.7 assists a game. 45% from the field. That's what I'm giving Dennis Smith Jr. So let's see. Viv, I'm gonna come to you, Viv.
You summed it up really well. This is actually the most important person on the team. Not anybody else. It's actually Dennis Smith Jr. And the reason being is that, obviously the trade and everything, we freed up all, he was really the key piece of the trade, right? Of the Porzingis trade. So, this is the real key. This is year 3. This is the real determination of determining whether he's a long-term piece on the roster. And whether, we have the point guard position settled. Because if he doesn't perform well this year, or if he doesn't play well this year, then, you're going to go back, next season, basically back at square one, right? Point guard position is back in limbo again. And, this is really the key to see, okay, has Dennis Smith Jr. figured it out? Mm-hmm. Because he, just like all the other point guards, even on our team, over the last couple of years, the real issues have they figured it out yet? And our track record is, as of this year, as of today, as of now, all the point guards before, Dennis Smith Jr. and up to now, not a lot of them haven't figured it out. And for Dennis Smith Jr., it's really a couple things. It's, can he actually be a point guard that can facilitate on the court and get people in the right places at the right time? Can he shoot the ball well to have people respect his athleticism from the perimeter? And can he shoot the free throws well to actually take advantage of driving into the paint? And then at the same time, can he bring that same energy on both ends of the floor? Obviously, conditioning was a big part of that energy, but can he actually have that motor, that attitude, that effort to be that difference maker? And it's a lot of pieces that have to come together. And if one of those pieces don't come together, then everything will fall apart. So everything needs to work in unison, right? So this is actually the most important player of the team. Because if he doesn't work out, then the team's in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Nate?
Hey, man, I forgot to give you my predictions for Mitch, so I'll give them to you real quick. 12,
right.
10, and 4. And he's going to be the anchor of the defense, and he's going to start. So
okay. All right.
As far as DSJ, man, we talked about Dot earlier about how he's up and down. I don't know what to expect from DSJ. He's arguably the most talented point guard on the Knicks squad for sure. And he's obviously one of the most talented point guards we've had since Stephon Marbury, in my opinion. But the thing is that he needs to put it all together. And the thing is that I don't know if he can, because he's not a good passer. His defense is terrible. And the durability is the big issue out of all three. He's got bad knees. He had back problems last year, probably from dunking too hard. I don't know. I'm really concerned about him. And like I said, if he loses the starting job to Payton, he's going to be unhappy and demand a trade.
Huh. We'll see. We'll see. And that is obviously that's going to be a question, man. If he is, if he plays behind Payton, how is he going to take that? That's going to be.
He's going to be like Melo. He's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Or
okay.
Not, yeah.
All right. Let me get to Mo, because I know this is Mo's guy. Right? This is Mo's guy. Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah. I was like with that Frank draft, I was like, yo, let's get Dennis. And we got Frank. So this year, it's like, Dennis, just show why we wanted you instead of Frank. Like, show that you are like the Steve Francis of today. Show that you are like the type of guy that can, once you have the ball, we need a bucket, go get it for us. I love that he worked out with Chris Paul this summer. Probably got some pointers from him. It is really scary that he has like this injury history, but at the same time, like, he can get past it. And I really think that if he has that 3-point shot, if he has that, if he could pull up and hit that three, like, he could average 20 points a game and 8 assists. 8 assists is a little too much. I'll go 5 because that's just what he's been doing. But I just think we need a guy who could like just get a bucket anytime at that point guard position. I mean, no, I'm not expecting him to really play defense too well because he's just not that big of a guy. He's just not built like that. But I think he has the potential to really just be like a star this year and break out. This is his third year, and this was the year that a lot of guys come out and really show who they are. And Dennis Smith is always supposed to be that guy who's gonna be a star. So show me. I'm rooting for him.
Okay. All right. Last guy on the list, ladies and gentlemen, Alonzo Trier. And he is another guy that is an enigma for the Knicks. Alonzo Trier, 6'5", 200 pounds. He was a rookie last year, an undrafted rookie at that. But he came in and, he proved that he belonged on the Knicks. He proved that he belonged, that he deserved a roster spot. He averaged 10.9 points, 3.1 rebounds, 1.9 assists. He shot 44.8% from the field. He shot 39.4% from three. So I do apologize. I thought for some reason he shot 48% from the field. No, he shot 44.8% from the field, and he shot 39.4% from three. All this talk about these guys, I think Alonzo Trier is going to play a lot of minutes. And I had to do some thinking about, just who we have with Wayne Ellington and all these guys. Alonzo Trier is going to play. The guy he can attack. I mean, he shot almost 40% from three. Almost 45% from the field in his rookie year. 11 points, 10.9 points per game. In his rookie year, the guy's going to play. Does he take his game up to the next level? That's the question. That is the question. I think that Alonzo Trier is going to, I think he's going to probably play 25, 26 minutes a game. Maybe he gets up to 11, 12, 13 points a game. And I know there's a lot, you guys are like, man, Sam, you think everyone's going to average 13, but there's a lot of guys that can score. And if Fizdale is doing the job correctly, these guys are going to, the ball is going to be shared. So there's going to be a lot of guys getting shots. So that's why I think, guys are going to be around that scoring level. You know, and so, yeah, I think Alonzo Trier, 13, 14 points a game. Yeah, I'll say that. 13, 14 points a game for Alonzo Trier. You know, probably 4 rebounds a game. You know, I don't see him getting that many assists. Maybe he can get that up to 3 assists per game, you know, if he gets a couple of extra minutes. But I think he'll have a solid year. I still think that Alonzo Trier, I know there's people that disagree with me. Plenty of people disagree with me. But I do believe that Alonzo Trier, I think that maybe not for the Knicks, I don't know for who, but I think he has the ability to be a starter. You know, people say, well, you know, he's undersized. You know, he's always going to be a guy that comes off the bench. I believe that if Alonzo Trier develops those other parts of the game that I always talk about and I always say, you know, if he's able to, you know, become you know, come off screens, a shooter, you know, you dip it off to him, he can knock it down. You know, a catch and shoot guy, that's what I'm looking for, a catch and shoot guy. If he can do those things, I think Alonzo Trier can be a starter in this league. I'm not saying that he's going to start this year, but I do think he can be a starter in this league. He has the aggression. And look, like Viv said, that's an overused word, but he has that, you know, I mean, he has that I'm not going to lose mentality. He has the ability to score in the clutch. You know what I mean? And he's confident. He is confident in what he does. I'm watching his, you know, attitude and his interactions with players on the team. You know, we're going to watch that, you know, the way things went with him and Tim Hardaway last year. But, you know, I like Alonzo Trier. You know, I'm looking for him, again, say 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. That's what I'll give Alonzo Trier. That's my prediction for Alonzo Trier. All right? And like I said, we're going to get more in depth with these guys when we do the season preview. You know, this is just something light. And it still took 3 hours. Nate, go ahead, man.
Yeah, man, you took the words out of my mouth when it came to Trier, man. I actually think he could start for the Knicks at some point this year because I envision a lineup where Barrett plays the 3 and Trier plays the 2, and then whoever else you have at point guard. I think Fizdale might actually entertain that lineup at some point if Knox or if Morris struggle. You know, maybe putting Barrett at the 3 and, like I said, Trier at the 2. With Trier, man, the 3 things I want to see him improve: defense. He's got to get better defensively. Moving without the ball. I think if he can do that, he already shoots the 3-pointer at a good clip. So if he can move without the ball, that's even going to make him better. And then also, too, I think if he becomes a more willing passer, he doesn't have to average a lot of assists, but maybe hockey assist or something. We can't do this ISO thing all the time. I mean, if the game's on the line and he wants to ISO it up and take the shot and he's got a good look, I'm cool with it. But I don't want to see ISO early in the shot clock. I want the ball to be moved around. And hopefully that he'll do that this year.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see if he's expanded his game in that manner. I know that the game that we've seen in Summer League when he played those few minutes, he looked good.
He did look good. His 3-pointer looked good too.
Yeah, he looked good. All right. Mo? One second. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, Alonzo Trier, like, he was the brightest thing for me last year, and I only expect for him to go up from here. Like, I don't know why he was undrafted, but I thank the heavens that we have him. Like, he's just gonna be a great scorer off the bench, and like, he can challenge RJ for that starting spot, and like, I expect him to just like to take up that scoring to about 14, 15. he's athletic. He's just a dog. Like he's just one of those guys that you want him on your team because he's gonna bring that bravado. He's gonna bring that scoring ability, and just like 15 points, maybe 2-3 assists and 3 rebounds. He's bigger than you think. Like he's 6'5", 200. That's crazy. I really just he is like 6th man of the year potential. So maybe not this year, but in the future, like he's really good. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay, all right. And then Viv.
I think everyone made some fair points. I'm not sure. Depends on how many minutes Trier gets and what his attitude's going to be like. If he gets minutes, if he doesn't get minutes. There's a lot of guards in the roster. I think that's the biggest problem with Trier at the moment. His key to playing big minutes is can he play off the ball and shoot off the ball. So we'll see if his shooting's improved. If it hasn't, then no. So
yeah. Okay. Well, Viv, you want to give us some last words really quick?
Yeah, I mean, this was fun. I got something coming up. I got a special project. I'll let y'all know when it comes out. But I'm looking forward to the season preview though. Yeah.
Really trying to, this is going to be it's going to be a whole season preview series, and we're really going to try to break things down and really get into some real deep specifics and maybe break down some video and all kinds of stuff like that. So hopefully it should be pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, babe. Talk to you later, man. Have a good rest of your week.
Sounds good. Take care, man.
Later. Mo, give us some last words, man.
It's awesome to be here for the first time. I really appreciate what you guys do, giving us some therapy as Knicks fans. We need it, and we're gonna need it all year. So,
right.
Yeah. Have a good night.
All right, man. Have a good one. Later.
Yeah. Later.
And Nate, take us out of here, bro.
Hey, man, training camp month, super excited. It's going to be good times, man, watching these training camp battles and watching all these players developing and getting better. Can't wait. NFL kicks off tomorrow. Super excited about that. And, man, I'm going to ride my boy Frank, man. It's his year. I'm going to keep saying it, just like City for Real says about Elf of Wall Street. I'm gonna join the Frank Ntilikina bandwagon, man. It's gonna be his year. I think it's his coming out party. So I'm super excited and happy for the guy. I hope he continues to ball out in FIBA and then comes to training camp and just has dog mentality, man, and just ready to grind and get going. So
all right, man.
All right, hey, man. Great show like always, man. I know it's long, but hey, when we talk about Knicks, it always happens.
That always. Later,
all right, man.
Peace.
Have a good night.
Oh, I ain't mean to cut him off like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a good show. Way longer than I expected, but it was a good show. And just to let you know, those tickets, you still can get those tickets, although when I get off of here, I'm getting ready to shut the thing down. So if you're going to get them, you want to hurry up and go ahead and get them, before it gets shut down. There's only a few left anyway. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description in the chat. I just put the link in the chat. You can go ahead and you can knock that out right now. Be at the home opener with the crew. All right. But anyway, I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back on Friday live, but tomorrow there's going to be part 2 of the summer review. Tomorrow night, 10:30. It's not going to be live. It'll be, old shows put together to just kind of sum up the summer. Part 1, we did part 1 yesterday. Part 2 will be tomorrow. All right. So make sure you check that out. Check me out live on Friday. And I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go get me some rest because I didn't expect this to be this long. But, hey, it is what it is. Peace. There we go. What's up there? Peace.
That's the deal.